FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. It's 5:02. I'm Manda Factor, and here's what's happening. As you just heard on ABC News, all 11 people on a Kenmore Air float plane survived after it crashed and caught fire near Susha Island in the San Juans yesterday. Luke Ducey will have much more throughout the morning. An Alaska Airlines flight from Oakland to Seattle had to make an emergency landing in Eugene yesterday after pilots reported low oil pressure and shut down one engine. All 167 passengers and crew are safe. The railroad fires destroyed 7 homes now in Grant County south of Vantage. Level 3 Go Now evacuations cover the towns of Beverly and Schwana, home to about 500 people. A stranger stabbed a man sitting on a downtown Seattle sidewalk near 5th and Stewart last night. Police did catch a suspect after a short foot chase. And the Mariners have fired assistant hitting coach Bobby Magianis as the offense continues to struggle. They open a series at Texas today. It's 5:03, time for a check on your early Friday drive. Chris Sullivan is here. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, man. It looks like we do have an issue to start the day. It's not as corny as the one yesterday.
That sure was fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Had fun with that all day long. But no, right, this one's up in the Everett area, and I could use a little help from my KIRO drivers. Looks like it just popped up. We're talking southbound I-5 right around the Snohomish River, right before you get to SR2 there in Everett. Kind of gone all red in a hurry. So I'm not sure what we're dealing with there, but I know we have a crash, and I do see the backups there. So plan on about an extra 10 minutes down from Marysville to Everett. Once you get through that, it's going to be a pretty clean drive the rest of the way. Everett to Seattle, Everett to Bellevue, about 35 minutes. Coming the other direction, Olympia to Tacoma, no problems for you guys. Tacoma's quiet. Federal Way to Seattle, only 35. Y'all up to Renton, 35 minutes as well. Renton to Bellevue's got about a 15-minute trip. Lake bridges are good. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Seattle's morning news on KIRO News Radio.
It's now 5:04. On this morning's edition of Start Here, ABC's Devin Dwyer visits a growing Jewish gun owner group and talks with host Brad Milkey.
You remember when Alex Preddy was killed by federal agents in Minneapolis? He was a nurse advocating for the rights of immigrants in his community. He was also a gun owner. One of the chief reasons authorities said he was shot was that he was armed. And I think there's often a stereotype of who carries firearms in this country. Males, conservatives. Pew Research studies say that indeed 6 of 10 self-described conservatives in this country have a gun in their household. But so do a quarter of self-described liberals. And in the last couple of years alone, as debates have raged over immigration crackdowns, potential overreach by the government, we've seen more organized gun groups popping up in populations that often lean Democrat. Liberal gun clubs, gay gun clubs. Recently, ABC senior Washington reporter Devin Dwyer met with a growing movement of Jewish American gun owners. It's called, wait for it, Locks and Loaded. But don't let the cheeky name fool you. This has become a serious cultural reckoning in the Jewish community. Devin's here now. Thanks for being here. Why are American Jews buying more guns?
It really boils down to one word, Brad: fear. It's a theme we've seen play out throughout American history. Vulnerable Americans looking for ways to protect themselves, and they consider that Second Amendment right, the ability to arm yourselves for right or for wrong. People have looked to that ability, and it seems to be having a moment right now in the Jewish American community. According to the Anti-Defamation League, 2025 was the third highest year on record for anti-Semitic incidents in the United States. And the American Jewish Committee says they are seeing Jews respond. 91% in their February survey said they feel less safe since the October 7th attacks a few years ago. And half of all American Jews say they are taking concrete steps to protect themselves in response.
All right, everybody loaded? Shooter 1 ready, shooter 2 ready.
Part of that is looking to guns.
2 to the chest, 1 to the head, threat! Show clear, clear, clear.
I was in Chicago recently where Gail Perlstein, a former bartender at Dave & Buster's, a firearm instructor.
Hold the gun tight, just pull the trigger.
Felt fear rippling through her community in the wake of that October 7th, 2023 terror attack in Israel, the war in Gaza that ensued, and the rising threat that we've seen documented in so many ways of violent anti-Semitism.
They were scared for themselves. They were scared for their family. Their kids were harassed. They were being followed. They were being threatened at work.
Because they were Jewish.
Because they were Jewish.
And she reached out to a number of her Jewish organizations she's involved with, offered free pistol safety and target lessons, and it took off.
It started as a charity act.
It started as a charity act. I needed to do something. I didn't care about the money. I just needed to do it. It booked up. It went from 5 people to 45 people in less than a week. We had to do another one because we had a waiting list.
She calls the group, as you said, Locks and Loaded now. And they have bagels and lox in a conference room where they talk about gun safety. They do some shooting. They do some schmoozing.
How often do you come to practice?
I come here once a month.
You do?
Yeah.
I have to tell you, I was really surprised by who showed up. It was a mix of young professionals.
I'm not a big gun guy. I'm actually here because I'm learning, so I don't really know much about guns.
There were retirees.
I don't want to shoot anybody. Okay, I want to get enough stuff in place so that's the actual last thing.
There was a Catholic mom of 2 Jewish kids.
You have to do what you feel is necessary to protect your family.
Many of them gun skeptics, gun shy Jewish Americans who never imagined they would have or want to have a gun.
Our members, over 60% of them, have never held a firearm before. That has changed drastically now. We are not the weak. We are not defenseless. Our kids are training, and our grandparents are training, and Bubby carries now.
But looking for some sort of basic entry-level introduction to firearms because of what they say is really an unprecedented threat picture, at least how they feel it right now.
Hey, and with any story about self-defense, I mean, the question is always whether you're making people feel safer by having a gun or whether you are making people safer by having more guns in the room. I guess, how do these people feel? How do congregations feel?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that is sort of a conundrum, right? I mean, is this a psychological? How much of this is a psychological benefit, reassurance? How much of it is a practical benefit?
Any concern that arming average people, putting more gun owners in places like a synagogue, actually creates a new risk?
Not if it's done correctly. There's a risk everywhere. Unfortunately, the bad guys, the monsters, they don't let you know when they're going to attack. You might not be able to escape. That's when that tool and proper weapons training, that's the equalizer.
Gail Perlstein approached the NRA for some help. They're providing a limited amount of in-kind support in terms of shooting facilities and trainers.
And I simply looked her in the eye and I said, yes, yes, and yes.
The NRA says this is a really important partnership for them as they begin to emerge from the scandals of financial mismanagement and plunging membership of the past few years from former CEO Wayne LaPierre.
Well, and let's talk more about that because you actually spoke to the new NRA president in what was, I think, his first network TV interview for this piece. So I guess what does he think about this effort? And I guess why is he talking about this in particular? Because like you said, the group has gone through a lot of controversy in the last several years.
I think it's a sign of this new regime.
You had a handful of executives that made some poor decisions, but you can't take 155 years and millions of members and literally hundreds of NRA staffers. I call us the good guys.
They also say they're trying to get back to basics. It was a group founded after the Civil War to promote firearm safety.
We're getting more involved now than ever before in education and training, competitive shooting, our youth programs.
If a Muslim American group came to you and said, we're feeling threatened at our places of worship, will you partner with us?
Absolutely. And there was anything that I could do and the National Rifle Association could do to support the Muslim American community, yes, we would.
But also took some tough questions about, why guns really are the answer.
It's our Second Amendment right. It's one of the things that makes our country unique, the ability to be able to protect our home, our families, our businesses, and our places of worship.
And insisting, as is not surprising, that so much of being a gun owner is individual responsibility, and not everybody is on board with that. In the Jewish community, there's one prominent example, Brad. I mean, the deadliest attack on Jews in U.S. history happened, almost a decade ago at the Tree of Life Synagogue outside Pittsburgh. 11 people killed there.
Our sanctuary is no longer usable. I can't tell you how many bullet holes are in there. Hundreds.
One of the families of the victims in that shooting actually sued the NRA, accused them of complicity in that attack because of the group's rhetoric. They accused them, quote, of valorizing gun use and vilifying disfavored groups. The case was settled, but it very much remains a sentiment that a lot of people have about the NRA.
The NRA goes out and says, everybody get your guns before they take our guns. It just creates this cycle of panic feeling that if I don't have a gun, then I'm not protected.
I also spoke, Brad, with the former FBI supervisory special agent who responded that day, Sean Brokaw.
If a bad guy walks in that door, how are you going to react? And train on that first before you even think about getting a weapon. She is still involved with protecting the Jewish community in the Pittsburgh area. And she says, look, she understands why people may turn to guns at a time of fear. It's run, hide, and then fight.
But really cautions against going down that route for a number of reasons, including very serious liability issues for an individual, not to mention the safety issues for all of us in our places of worship.
I mean, absolutely fascinating scenes, though. And regardless of what you think of gun ownership in this country, I mean, the phenomenon is real of these groups feeling the need to sort of band together and learn how to use firearms together. Devin Dwyer, really great reporting. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Brad.
That's ABC's Brad Milkey. It's 5:13. Check on our forecast, and not a bad day. We'll be partly sunny, 83 for today. Looks like we do have a chance of showers both Saturday and Sunday now, with highs in the low to mid 70s. Drying out again Monday. Next week looks really nice and dry. We'll be in the upper 70s through at least Thursday with lots of sunshine. Right now in Seattle, it is partly cloudy, 64 degrees. And coming up, a closer look at the proposed nuclear deal between the U.S. and Saudi Arabia. We'll get to part 2 of ABC's Start Here on Seattle's Morning News.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
This hour of Seattle's Morning News is brought to you by Closets by Design Seattle.
Back on February 8th, the countdown started at 167 days.
3, 2, 1.
Right after the clock showed zeros.
The Seahawks win Super Bowl 60.
The champs are back on the field tomorrow when Seahawks training camp begins.
We know that we're target number 1 now.
The home of the Super Bowl champs. KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Summer's a busy time for most businesses, and WaFd Bank is here to help you keep up. WaFd Bank has you covered with free business checking, business credit cards, credit lines, and other services to move your business forward. WaFd also offers payment processing, so customers can pay through a kiosk, a mobile app, or online for seamless transactions. And with so many options, WaFd Bank is quickly becoming an SBA preferred lender of choice, so you'll find the perfect fit to meet your goals. WaFd Bank, built for business. Visit wafdbank.com, member FDIC, loan subject to credit approval.
How would you like to invest in the Seattle real estate market, one of the hottest and most stable regions in the country, and achieve a great rate of return on your investment without the effort of sourcing a deal, the expense and time of building permits, or all the hassles that come with being a landlord? Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with 0 investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Invest in the stability and ease of Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund. Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
All right, I'm talking with Phil Mitchell, who is a new buddy, and he's also an advertiser on the show. Phil, I'm really interested in people's stories. You have a pretty amazing background. You own Sunset Auto Family. You employ a lot of people. You do great business in the community, but You started at the bottom. Tell me a little bit about that.
Jake, I started in the car business as a lot attendant, basically washing cars with a hose and soap and water, and just happened to, be in the right position at the right time, started selling cars and did pretty good at that and became a sales manager. And I've had a lot of great mentors that have helped me and guided me. And so now it's my turn to be a mentor and try to do the same thing for somebody else.
That's fantastic. How many years have you been in this business now?
I've been in a long time, so I know every inch. I've done just about every job you can do in it. It's a family business. My son's in the business. He runs one of the stores.
Well, let me tell you what. I got 4 sons. One of them is looking for a job in about 4 years.
Bring him down, buddy.
I'm going to send him to the Sunset Auto family.
I got a hose and bucket. Let's go.
I love it. Go see him at Sunset Kia in Auburn, Sunset Ford, and Sunset Chevrolet in Sumner. You just get more at Sunset, and people do like that.
Hi, I'm Marla at Sky Nursery with a heads up that gardening in July has its challenges. Seattle summer drought can cause plants to droop in just a matter of hours, and rabbits and aphids can get a little out of hand in your garden, especially if you have any travel plans this summer. That's where an experienced Sky Gardener can make a difference with down-to-earth and sustainable solutions to all manner of gardening quagmires. After all, you deserve to enjoy a beautiful, thriving summer garden without having to learn the hard way first. We can help. Head to skynursery.com.
News matters. Experience counts. You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
It's now 5:18. Back to ABC's Start Here program now. Shannon Kingston speaks with ABC's Brad Milkey about why the Saudi nuclear deal is so controversial.
Every day at this point, it's another adventure to go outside and see what the prices are at your local gas station. More than a newspaper, more than this podcast, that is almost the fastest way to get caught up on what's happened overnight. Like, if the oil's gone up, there's been more fighting. If the oil's gone down, there's been less fighting. And I think Americans often think of the violence as between the U.S. and Iran, but it's not always symmetrical that way. Yes, the U.S. has fired lots of missiles at Iran proper. In fact, yesterday, President Trump described mulling a decision to launch a potentially, quote, massive attack unlike anything the country has seen thus far. Well, Iran, in turn, has fired at American military vessels and American bases in the Middle East, but they're also firing at Qatari bases, Jordanian bases, privately owned cargo ships in the Strait of Hormuz. This week, Saudi ships came under attack. And you wonder if this might have to do with what we've seen in Washington this week, a nuclear deal between the U.S. and Saudi Arabia that goes way beyond the scope of this conflict. Analysts say this has the power to reshape what the whole region looks like for decades. And ABC's Shannon Kingston has been covering it all from the State Department, where she covers global affairs. She's with us now. Shannon, what is the deal exactly, and what provisions does it entail?
Right, Brad. So this is a civilian nuclear agreement. It allows the U.S. to send sensitive nuclear technology to Saudi Arabia for a peaceful program. Now, this has been something that the Saudis have been after for a really long time. Of course, they export a ton of oil, but they want to maximize profits. And we've seen, of course, how volatile the energy markets can be. So they think this is a good route for them.
This agreement in particular, as it's been discussed thus far, does give priority access for American companies in the Saudi nuclear energy program, which will ultimately benefit American industry workers and supply chains.
But we've also heard Saudi ruler Mohammed bin Salman say that if Iran acquires a nuclear weapon, well, then Saudi Arabia is going to have no choice but to follow suit. So he's not exactly shutting the door to using that program for less than peaceful purposes.
I was going to say, when we hear about nuclear deals, most of us go immediately to nuclear weapons. Is that what the deal would be? Or is it more like you can have nuclear power plants? Or how does the Trump administration see nuclear capabilities in Saudi Arabia?
The Trump administration says this is going to be a totally peaceful program. There are going to be safeguards. And Brad, this is something the U.S. does with countries really around the world to build nuclear power capabilities. So there are checks and balances, guardrails, what have you, already in place. Now, there are some concerns about proliferation because this deal in particular doesn't shut the door on Saudi Arabia enriching uranium on its own soil. Now, there are some hurdles that they're going to have to cross before they get to that point, but it could eventually happen.
Where does Israel fit into this? Because we heard this deal was signed, and then yesterday we started hearing, actually, maybe this deal could be derailed because there's some provision in, like, the Trump administration is saying the Saudis should recognize Israel, like, diplomatically as a country, which a lot of Middle Eastern countries do not do. But so could this deal be in jeopardy now because of this Israel thing, or what happens?
Well, Brad, we know that the deal has been in the works for a while, and the conditions that the U.S. has wanted to see from Saudi Arabia have changed somewhat. Under the Biden administration, the benchmark was that Saudi Arabia would have to normalize diplomatic ties with Israel, sign on to the Abraham Accords, which are a series of bilateral agreements that were first brokered under the first Trump administration. So that requirement kind of fell away in recent months as these negotiations have been happening, up until Thursday, when President Trump posted on social media that he expected to see Riyadh go forward and sign on to the Abraham Accords before this all came to fruition.
Yes, this deal with Saudi Arabia, the energy deal, is contingent on this condition as far as the president is concerned. So we'll continue to talk with our Saudi counterparts to get the deal finalized and hopefully...
Last question, Shannon. The Houthis in Yemen. So this is all on the Arabian Peninsula. They border Saudi Arabia, but the Houthis in Yemen really control this strait that goes up through the Red Sea. We knew they attacked a couple cargo ships this week. Turns out those were Saudi tankers. Oil has surged past $100 a barrel. Are the Saudis specifically being more targeted in this war? And I guess how would that impact the whole Middle Eastern conflict going forward?
Well, Brad, so much of the reporting around the war in Iran has centered on President Trump and whether he is going to decide to expand the conflict. Well, it appears the conflict is already getting bigger and bigger, engulfing more of the Middle East. We saw recently the IRGC, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, go to bring the Houthis into the fold more directly, flying a plane directly into Yemen for the first time in years. Now, Secretary of State Marco Rubio said that plane did contain IRGC elements. So really what they're trying to do is get them to ramp up attacks on another vital shipping corridor in the Red Sea, which abuts Saudi Arabia, obviously, and that's where they're doing a lot of their traffic. U.S. officials say they are monitoring that threat, but it is not hard to imagine how it could spiral out of control. It was just a couple years ago that attacks from the Houthis brought global shipping to its knees.
And it's really interesting because at the beginning of this conflict, I think the general consensus was Iran doesn't have the military capabilities to match the U.S., so they're going to have to make some big concessions. Well, then they effectively took over or shut down the Strait of Hormuz. That was a big bargaining chip. Well, now they're expanding their influence to another strait, the Bab el-Mandeb Strait. That becomes another bargaining chip, and you see how they're using all of their influence as much as they can right now. Shannon Kingston, thank you.
Thank you, Brad.
That's ABC's Brad Milkey. It's 5:23 as we get ready for the weekend. It's going to be a really nice day. Look for partly sunny skies, warming up to about 83 for today. On the weekend, we'll see mostly cloudy skies tomorrow. We do have a few showers in the forecast in 74. Pretty much the same thing on Sunday, but improving weather as you head back to work on Monday. Partly sunny in 77. It looks like we'll stay in the upper 70s for the bulk of next week. Right now in Seattle, it's partly cloudy and 64. Coming up in Charlie's commentary, why it's now in the hands of Olympia to determine whether affordable housing in the state will be more attainable. We'll get to that and the morning's top stories next here on KIRO Newsradio.
I like it hot.
Beg your pardon?
Can you make it hot for me, Dan?
I think so.
Half heated ain't hot enough.
No.
That's why I called you.
Apollo Plumbing.
Yeah, my sorry old water heater.
Oh.
Ain't getting me the hots anymore.
You want hot water.
That's what I said.
That's what we do at Apollo Plumbing.
And you're ready?
Right now.
When can you?
How about today?
Same day?
We'll have you in hot water tonight.
Clever. How about an upgrade?
A tankless water heater would mean endless hot water.
Now you're cooking.
That's just for starters.
Starters?
How about we make it a worry-free water heater?
Worry-free?
Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Which covers?
Repairs, service, all included.
And when it wears out?
Apollo replaces it.
No extra charge?
Nothing.
Nil?
Nada. As an Apollo A-List member, you're covered.
And payments?
To fit your budget with approved credit, of course.
And I'm hot again.
Worry-free.
That's for me.
We're on our way.
Thanks for making it hot.
We're ApolloPlumbing.com.
This is Lynn. She's always been active, maybe a little too active back in the day.
When I was 19 years old and immortal, I stripped out all my ligament and I had to have 6 knee surgeries, and that's on my right knee. And then my left knee finally gave out and had a torn meniscus.
Years of pain followed until she saw Dr. Mark Wagner at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
I'm 4 months out and I have no pain in my knees, and I have had knee pain my whole life. I have no concept of what it was like without pain. It's a miracle. I'm totally thrilled.
No pain, no limits.
Dr. Wagner gave me the green light to ski again this year. I'm like, that's incredible. So I'm just so excited.
After years of surgeries and setbacks, Lynn finally got her freedom back.
I think he saved my legs, so saved my knees, and gave me at least another 10, 15 years to do what I want to do.
If joint pain is holding you back, find out what stem cell therapy could do for you with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD. At Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine, schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Hey, when was the last time you inspected your crawl space or your attic? What's the last time you went in there just to see what kind of shape they're in? Oh, never? Yeah, same. I don't want to go in there. Most homeowners completely avoid those areas, but it is important to check on them regularly. It's why you call Crawl Pros. They'll come out and go where you don't want to. Hey, it's Mike Salk here. And yes, when Crawl Pros came out to my place, they realized we had a little problem with our insulation. So they've set about fixing it, and they did a great job. But if you've got the same problem, they'll also look to see what kind of energy rebates are available. Right now, local utility companies are incentivizing homeowners to make their home more energy efficient with proper insulation. And some homes qualify for several $1,000s in savings with these utility rebate programs. So don't just assume your crawl space and attic are in great condition. Do what I did. Call Crawl Pros today and schedule a free corner-to-corner inspection and find out if you've got water intrusion, mold, rodent issues, or even damaged insulation. Schedule your crawl space and attic inspection at crawlpros.com.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY, and I want to talk to you about baseball. It's game day. The stadium roof is open. Our club's putting up a fight. They're cold brews in hand. But outside, the police are getting ready to spot fans trying to steal their home base. Maybe the night threw you a curveball. An officer made an error. Or perhaps the bases weren't the only thing loaded. At 1-800-DUI-AWAY, we know it's not 3 strikes, it's 1 strike. And you're facing the Grand Slammer. 1-800-DUI-AWAY is here to help, even if we have to go into overtime. So call 1-800-DUI-AWAY or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com to set up your free private consultation. When you're on defense, it's full count, bottom of the ninth. You want your closing pitcher on the mound. 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
1-800-DUI-AWAY. Tune in to The Money Professor with Chris Longworth.
Having some certainty about your plan is definitely going to give you all the advantages.
Chris has the heart of an educator.
If you really want to do this correctly, then you get to enjoy every day of retirement like it's a Saturday. And if you don't, it's a Monday for the rest of your life.
Tune in to The Money Professor with Chris Longworth, Saturdays at 8 a.m. right here on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales Event going on right now through Sunday, August 2nd. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales Event going on right now. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
If you're over 62 and want to stay in your home without as much financial stress, this may be worth your attention. I'm Steve Teitler, owner of Best Mortgage. Every week I talk with seniors who love their home and want to stay, but feel financial pressure every month. Property taxes keep going up. Insurance costs more. Everyday bills add up, and for some, they still have a mortgage payment. If you're wondering how long your savings need to last, a reverse mortgage may be worth a look. It could eliminate your mortgage payment, pay off debts, and give you breathing room every month. Now, I want to make it clear it's not right for everyone, but for the right person, it can be a very smart financial tool. When you call Best Mortgage, you'll speak directly with me. I'll explain your options and tell you honestly if it makes sense for you. If you want to stay in your home with less financial stress, call me, 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage. Honest advice you can trust. 425-649-6000.
It's the best time of the year at Staples, with back-to-school supplies as low as 25 cents, up to 40% off select tech and more at staples.com/back-to-school.
This summer, I'm driving my first hybrid, the 2026 Subaru Forester Touring Hybrid, which I got at Carter Subaru. It's a beauty and has excellent safety features. Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealership with over 800 in stock, including the 2026
6 Subaru Outback for 0.9% APR. Carter Subaru in Ballard, Shoreline, or cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized cost. See dealer for details. Valid through 7/31/26.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. It's 5:31. A Kenmore Air float plane carrying 11 people crashed near Susha Island last night. Everyone on board survived. KIRO 7 TV's Eric Thomas is in Bellingham, where 2 of the passengers are in the hospital.
More than half a dozen different agencies successfully responded.
Police boats are the ones with the Sheriff's Department out. Helicopters, as necessary, from Airlift Northwest and Coast Guard help on the surface.
Man says boaters who witnessed the crash also jumped into action.
Oh, my gosh.
Meanwhile, the NTSB, who's taken over the scene, won't rule anything out. They'll take the next 3 to 5 days to conduct their investigation here before eventually releasing their findings.
A man sitting on a downtown Seattle sidewalk was stabbed by a stranger last night. Seattle police say it happened about 8:30 at the corner of 5th and Stewart. Detective Brian Pritchard says the attack appeared to be completely unprovoked. The suspect took off running east on Olive Way. Officers chased him down a few blocks away near 8th and Pike. The victim was taken to Harborview. His injuries are not life-threatening. We are learning more about the local artist who was shot while riding a King County Metro bus this morning. KIRO 7 TV's Ranji Sinha has more.
His brother, Rob Pleasant, says his brother is an accomplished artist who had just started a program to learn how to cut hair. He also was a loving family man, adding that violence like this needs to end.
So there was a lot of shootings going on in that same night. There has to be something done to change this. You should be able to ride the public transit without any fear of being shot.
Rob told me his brother is still in the hospital, but he is talking and doing well.
Everyone from major corporations to online sellers seem to be trying to cash in on Jimothy the raccoon's viral fame. There's now a Jimothy bobblehead, Jimothy tattoos, coffee mugs, sticker pads, hundreds of T-shirts on Etsy and Amazon. The White House even posted a photo of the raccoon wearing a red MAGA ball cap on social media. All of it makes Suzanne West, director of the Sarvey Wildlife Care Center, worry we're all creating a celebrity that could lead to abusive behavior.
Oh my gosh, there's somebody chasing after him. He could run into the path of a car that he might not normally run into the path of because he's not stressed out and trying to evade people. The other thing that could happen is people try to lure him with food.
West says feeding any animal like Jimothy could lead to health issues, eating the wrong thing, or by gaining too much weight. It's 5:33. Time for a check on your early Friday drive. Chris Sullivan, what's happening?
Well, we are looking at about a 2.5-mile backup now on southbound I-5, getting away from Marysville. About a 10-minute delay to get you down towards the Snohomish River and Highway 2. That's where we had the right lane blocked for the better part of the last 40 minutes or so, right on the Snohomish River. They're in the process of moving this stall out of the way, so this backup should be going away here in the next little bit. But if you're coming down from Arlington, you've got about a 25-minute trip to go from Arlington into Everett. Again, that's about 10 minutes behind schedule. And then you have about a 35-minute trip from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, so not too bad there. Looking at Olympia to Tacoma, we've got ourselves about 35 minutes there. Tacoma and Pierce County is quiet. Better way to Seattle, nice and easy, 35 minutes there. Just some slight hesitations here and there in a couple of spots up the Valley Freeway, 35 there as well. Renton to Bellevue's only 15. The lake bridges are good. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
Nice way to wrap up the week. We're going to be partly sunny and 83 for today. For tomorrow and Sunday, look for a mix of sun and clouds and possibly some showers too. Low to mid-70s. Monday, rebounding to upper 70s with partly sunny skies. Next week looks really nice. Highs will stay in the upper 70s through at least Thursday. Right now, it is partly cloudy and 64 in Seattle.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Bringing you Seattle's morning news since 1974, this is KIRO News Radio.
It's now 5:35. In Charlie's commentary, how lawmakers are trying to make owning a home a little easier.
You don't see much bipartisan work in Congress anymore. So when the Senate votes 85-5 and the House votes 358-32 on the same bill, something real is going on. The 21st Century Road to Housing Act became law earlier this month. Most of its 56 provisions are small pilot programs, loan tweaks, grants. But tucked inside is a provision that could matter a lot around here. Before I get to the policy, some background, and I say this fully aware of the stigma and the class perceptions that come with it, and you may want to check yourself for thinking it. After my parents split, both of them lived in manufactured homes at different points over the years. My dad spent about 15 years in a double wide. My mom lived in one in Everett for a while after she retired. When my wife and I first got married, we rented a trailer on some property in Federal Way for about a year. When my grandparents hit retirement, they found they couldn't keep up with the cost of owning a traditional home in Seattle. They moved to the Halcyon Mobile Home Park in North Seattle, one of the last trailer parks in the city, one of the last truly affordable places to live here. I've eaten dinner in these homes. I've slept in them. I've paid rent on one. They kept the people I love housed when nothing else would have. Now, here's what Congress just fixed. Under every manufactured home built in America since the 1970s, there's a steel chassis welded on at the factory required by federal law. It gets the house to your lot exactly once, then it sits there forever, rusting under your living room like a trailer hitch nobody's allowed to cut off. The new law scraps that rule. Researchers estimate dropping the chassis could cut the price of a manufactured home by as much as 9%, several $1,000s off the only home a lot of Americans can afford. But the bigger change is what these homes can become without a chassis. 2 stories, real foundations, roof lines and porches and floor plans that look like every other house on the block. Factory-built homes already come in at roughly half the cost per square foot of a site-built home. You take away the steel frame, you build the house on a real foundation, and a manufactured home is just a house that showed up on a truck, like a refrigerator did. Now, skeptics have real points. Factory-built homes have a rough history with resale value. The financing often costs more than a conventional mortgage, and around here, the house was never the most expensive part. No factory in the world can ship you cheaper land. Fair, all of it. But Congress just found a 50-year-old rule that was quietly adding thousands of dollars to the cheapest homes in America, and both parties voted to get rid of it. Now it's up to the cities and the counties. For 50 years, the law treated these homes like vehicles, so plenty of towns zoned them like vehicles, parked them at the edge of the map, kept them out of single-family neighborhoods. That federal excuse just got repealed. If they are serious about affordable housing, and every one of them says they are, update the zoning. Let these homes into the neighborhoods. If a manufactured home can sit on a foundation and look like the house next door, there's no planning reason to keep it out. And if they don't, if the zoning stays the same after the federal barrier is gone, then the barrier was never really about the chassis. It was about who lives in those homes. And that's a conversation about class that a lot of city councils would rather not have out loud. A manufactured home kept 3 generations of my family housed at times in the Seattle area. If this law means the next family that needs one pays less for and feels less like they have to explain it, that's a win. Nobody's building a manufactured home in Medina, but a young couple in Marysville, a retired teacher in Enumclaw, a family in your neighborhood that's been renting for a decade because every house on the market, its price starts with a 7. Well, Congress just made it cheaper. Now the cities decide whether to make it welcome.
You can find all of Charlie's commentaries at mynorthwest.com. Coming up, your political insights from ABC's Dave Packer. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio, where you hear Jake and Spike. Weekdays noon to 3.
Well, this weekend, Jimothy ran in the salmon run, and I wish Mariner Marketing had taken just a couple more minutes or hours. For what? Give us a better Jimothy.
The Jimothy costume is not perfect.
It was lacking.
What would you have them do?
I have them build a real costume.
Yeah, it didn't look great.
It didn't look great. It was a guy in a mask.
Watch live or later. Subscribe to the Jake and Spike YouTube channel.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owe the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louis found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $3 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they help me. They calm me down. They make me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louis has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louis.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
All right, I'm very happy to have Phil Mitchell from Sunset Auto Family on with me right now. And Phil, you guys offer such an amazing value for people who are driving their cars a little bit longer now, and you guys offer repairs for life. How does that work?
Basically, we're going to cover any repair we do for $250 or over for as long as you own the vehicle.
So let me ask you this question. Let's say that I buy my vehicle elsewhere. My transmission on my car breaks down. You guys fix it. 10 years later, I have the same problem. You guys are going to fix that again for no cost?
That's right. No cost to you for as long as you own the vehicle.
So why would you even offer this? This has got to be incredibly expensive for you.
You know what? We just want to keep our customers for life. So chances are if we do a repair for life and we take good care of you, you might look us up when you decide to get a new vehicle. And we want to be your lifetime dealer.
So somebody really does feel like they're part of the Sunset Auto family.
That's exactly right. We want you to be part of the family, and that's why we take good care of you.
Oil changes for life, warranty protection for life, and repairs for life. Only at Sunset Kia in Auburn, Sunset Ford, and Sunset Chevrolet in Sumner. You just get more at Sunset, and people do like that.
At Seattle Children's Hospital, 1 in 3 patient families can't afford the food their kids need to heal. Safeway and Jackson Smith & Jigba are fighting back with the Food First Project. No barriers, just help for families right now. Learn more at Safeway.com.
John Curley here. When the AC starts acting up, don't assume you need a whole new system. Home Comfort Alliance, their approach is simple. Repair first, replace only if needed. Their techs diagnose the real problem because a simple fix can often get the cooling back up again and not cost you a full replacement. Need something new? Ask about a heat pump for year-round comfort. That's what we did at the barn. Get real pricing in 60 seconds at HomeComfortAlliance.com. Call the comfort people. HomeComfortAlliance.com.
Holy smokes! The On Cruise Adventures Rick Riz Show.
What happened at the ballpark yesterday?
Sparky's sitting on my scorebook here, my cat.
Friday mornings at 8:15 on Seattle's Morning News.
These are your political insights from ABC News. Senate Majority Leader John Thune firing back at White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt's comment that President Trump's patience is running out with him and the Senate's inability to pass the Save America Act. He says the votes aren't there in the Senate.
She or somebody else ought to get on the phone and get the votes. Right? It's 50 around here. So instead of, pointing the finger at Republicans, they might think about going after the people who are stopping it on the floor, which is the Democrats.
A victory Thursday for Republicans hoping to gain House seats in the midterms, a federal judicial panel allowing Tennessee to use a new congressional map that splits apart a majority black district in Memphis. The 3-judge panel declined to issue a preliminary injunction against the new districts. It paves the way for them to be used in the state's August 6th primary. Dave Packer, ABC News.
It's 5:44. Our forecast, partly sunny for your Friday, warming up to the low 80s today. Tomorrow and Sunday, mix of clouds and sun, mainly cloudy, and we might see some showers at times both days. Highs around 74. Monday, rebounding weather, 77 will dry out and see partly sunny skies, and then nice through the week. At least Thursday, looks like those highs will be in the upper 70s with lots of sunshine. It's 64 here in Seattle right now. Coming up, it is a contentious race for for Seattle's 43rd Legislative District. 2 newcomers trying to push out Senate Majority Leader Jamie Peterson. We're going to hear from one of those candidates next here on Seattle's Morning News.
We all know a cancer diagnosis is physically and emotionally draining, but it can be financially draining too. That's why Northwest Hope and Healing is here to help. I'm Dr. Suzette Miranda, a plastic surgeon who is proud to be part of Northwest Hope and Healing's mission. We provide a lifeline for breast and gynecologic cancer patients. We cover essentials like food, utilities, and childcare so patients can focus on healing. Since the year 2000, we have distributed over $3 million in direct financial assistance to thousands of local cancer patients. And you can make a direct impact. Mark your calendar for Life in Color, a summer brunch, auction, and fashion show on August 23rd at the Somme Hotel and Spa in Woodinville. It's an unforgettable afternoon of hope and inspiration, celebrating local cancer survivors. Get your tickets now for Life in Color on August 23rd. Go to nwhopeandhealing.org to learn more. That's nwhopeandhealing.org.
What would you do if the person you love needed round-the-clock care and you had no plan to pay for it?
I was very worried about running out of money.
When Mike's wife was diagnosed with dementia, he turned to LifePoint Law and Elder Law attorney Rajiv Nagayich.
And then he said, you're going to be okay, but we have to get through these steps. Then I felt a whole lot better going into it. It was still a very difficult process, but in the end, I knew that there was someone there that if I needed help, understood what I'm going through.
LifePoint Law helped Mike protect his wife, his finances, and his future.
They laid it out really well up front. They give you a very in-depth plan. There are so many things that you don't know. I could never have done it on my own.
Register for a free LifePoint Law retirement planning seminar in Federal Way August 1st, Puyallup on the 4th, Tacoma on the 6th, or Bellevue August 8th. Space is limited, so sign up today at lifepointlaw.com. That's lifepointlaw.com.
Seattle's tradition for news and conversation. This is Seattle's Morning News with Charlie Harger and Manda Factor.
A race getting a lot of attention here in Seattle, where incumbent Jamie Peterson is facing sharp competition for Seattle's 43rd Legislative District.
Well, today we're joined by a candidate in the race. Last week we spoke with Hannah Sabio-Howell, and today it's Heather Marie Wilson who joins us live in the studio. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for coming by.
Oh, not a problem.
Tell us about you.
About me, I am a senior scientist at a biotech startup. I'm actually just 2 blocks from here, so I love my job.
Why do you want to be the next state senator for the 43rd?
It's not that I want to. It's more that I need to protect jobs in our state, including my own, just because of some of the bills that were passed.
Can you be more specific?
Yeah, so there's a couple. So obviously I'm not a millionaire, but the millionaire tax does affect it. It affects the people who invest in biotech companies, the angel investors. It also affects those of us that are taking risks. So like our company, we ran on hopes and dreams the first 2 years, and we all accrued stock in the company. So the moment that our company actually has a value, the 8 years I've worked for the company, you would get the stock when there's an initial public offering, and you would have to pay tax on that. So instead of having, say I make $1.5 million over the 8 years I've been working for the company, all of a sudden that $500,000 gets taxed, and that's $50,000 that I got to pay there, even if I wanted to just keep the stock in the company so we can keep growing. So that's one way.
So why should Jamie Peterson be fired?
So I don't think he understands business. And when you attack the people who create businesses and jobs, there's no incentive for them to come. There's a lot of hatred towards people who you don't see the behind the scenes of what these company owners do. So there's no hatred towards him. I've met him. He's a very nice person. I just don't agree with what he's doing. And I think part of it is because he doesn't have any investment in the field. So the thing is, it trickles down. So in the 1970s, remember when Boeing laid off 60% of its workforce? My dad had a small boat building business. And when that happened, he had bought all the supplies for these boats. But all of a sudden, everyone didn't have the income for it, and he lost his business. And so for my family, he found a job, but we eventually moved to California in 1974. And so that meant I had a childhood where I didn't get to see my grandparents, my aunt, and all my cousins. And it took me to grad school to get back. And I love living here, but my job may move because we just can't survive in this kind of climate where there's a lot of hatred towards people who create jobs.
Heather, how are you qualified to take Jamie Peterson's job?
My background is in analytical research and data. So in my field, I have worked in different areas of research. So my PhD's in breast cancer. I did my first 2 postdocs in myelodysplastic syndrome. I did muscle regeneration, cardiac ischemia, reperfusion injury. Every time I've had a job, I've had to reinvent myself. It takes about 6 to 8 weeks for me to do all the background and hit the ground running. And I usually come in as a troubleshooter. So like protocols that aren't working, because sometimes you need an outside look who's not, kind of trapped by the accepted dogma in that field. And so I think having someone who's used to looking at data, analyzing data, and used to thinking 12 steps down the road rather than how can we make people happy. I'm not a politician. I just want our state to function for our kids, for everyone. So that's...
Yeah. I wonder, the 43rd is one of, if not the most progressive districts in Washington State. Are your politics in line with what the people of the 43rd are expecting from a leader?
Well, so that's what's kind of interesting. The loudest voices is what everyone thinks the district is, but I was born in this district. I went to school in this district. I've lived in this district for 30 years, and I know what they are. I understand. I understand why the young people are mad. I have an older daughter who went away to college, and she's not coming back because she can't afford this. But a lot of it is the state and city have just put so much regulation. And, you look at some of the stuff like when they got rid of the neighborhood council input into City Hall. That disenfranchised a lot of homeowners, including the Central District. You go to the Central District, a lot of those black homeowners were disenfranchised. And now I couldn't believe with the gentrification that occurred there.
What would you do differently to tackle drugs, crime, and homelessness?
So the housing crisis is an addiction crisis, and this has touched our family. My husband's brother passed away 3 months ago from a drug overdose.
Sorry for your loss.
When he was in the state, he was not from this state. The whole time he was in this state, he was homeless. He went away to other states where they had stricter laws, and he came back, and he died, and they had to identify him by his fingerprints. So that was the thing is, so I've done I've gone to sites with We Heart Seattle, and it's a really good organization. And there are a couple people there I talked to who got off the streets. And I was like, how did you do it? Because for me as a pathologist, watching people die in slow motion, it's so painful. I walked past a dead body. When our lab used to be in Fremont, the building was broken into 6 times in 1 year, and I worked till 9, 10 o'clock at night some nights, so I didn't feel safe. And I asked them, I said, so how did you do it? And the one guy said, I got put in jail. I got cleaned up, and then my brain was clear enough that I was ready to get help. And some of these drugs like the fentanyl is crazy addictive. And for me, so I've had 2 brain surgeries. I was correcting the nurse within 24 hours after my second brain surgery she brought the wrong medication. And she didn't know how to find it. And I was like, give me my phone. 30 seconds, I said, it's got ingredients I'm allergic to. I couldn't make any decisions for myself because I had brain surgery. But I was correcting the nurse on my medications. Yet the people on the street, they're allowed to make decisions, and they're not in a state of mind to do that. And I feel like it's cruel. It's cruel to them. It's cruel to our kids who have to live like this around them. And that the whole drug market then leads to crime and all of that. So, and the education is kind of tied in with that. I feel like the college track, there should be other tracks for kids. We all have different gifts. And there's a lot of good professions that are like the trade school route. So I think that would also help with crime and stuff, because we'd have retention of kids, and then they would be productive citizens and, happy.
Heather Marie Wilson, a candidate for the 43rd Legislative District. It's 5:54, and we're going to see a nice Friday, 83 with partly sunny skies for today. Tomorrow and Sunday, we do have the threat of a few showers, not a washout by any means, but you might get a little wet at times. Otherwise, a mix of clouds and sun and highs in the mid-70s. Monday right on through Thursday of next week, lots of sunshine and highs into the upper 80s with lows in the upper 50s. Right now in Seattle, the sun's coming up. It's a beautiful morning, 64 right now. You're listening to Seattle's Morning News, and coming up, a fiery float plane crash in the San Juans. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey will have details. Also at 6:15, President Trump threatens a massive attack on Iran soon. ABC's Karen Travers will have the latest. We'd love to hear from you. You can always reach out on the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line at 888-973-5476. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
A political shakeup for Democrats that represent Seattle.
Traffic.
Right now, Auburn to Renton at 25 minutes. That's a good 10-minute delay.
Conversation.
3 people on the floor can't cover 20 aisles of plexiglass. They're doing their best. It just doesn't work.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
And the party begins.
Broadcasting live from the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM. KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
A perfect game by a Seattle Mariner. It was done by the King.
50 seasons, 50 legends, one unforgettable night. Join the Mariners Saturday, August 8th for 50 season celebration night at T-Mobile Park, presented by Daktronics.
The Mariners are going to play for the American League Championship.
Before the team takes on the Rays, arrive early for the most epic pregame ceremony in Mariners history. You'll witness the biggest gathering of franchise icons ever assembled as the 50 greatest Mariners from across all 5 decades are revealed. From Griffey to the big unit, from Ichiro to Nelson Cruz, and every legend in between, you don't want to miss this once-in-a-lifetime event.
Junior with a 2-run home run. Everybody is going bonkers here in the Kingdom.
Seats are going fast. Get yours at mariners.com/tickets.
Mark is 76, and his shoulder pain was getting in the way of him playing baseball. You heard that right. Baseball.
Yeah, there's a whole league here of old guys pretending like we're kids.
The pain from severe arthritis just wasn't going away.
It was like a nerve-type pain, and I couldn't sleep at night.
That's when Mark decided to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
Well, if I can avoid surgery anytime, you'd probably be better off.
Mark is back out on the diamond playing baseball.
So I moved into this retirement community, and I talked about my shoulder, and these old people here, they got all excited about it, and 2 of them now have gone to see Mark Wagner. They don't like driving into Seattle, so I drive them in.
He more than recommends Dr. Wagner. He chauffeurs. So whether it's a hip like mine or a shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. He's the most experienced in the Northwest with over 20,000 stem cell procedures. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com.
If you're over 62 and worried about how far your retirement savings will go, I'd like you to hear this. I'm Steve Teitler, owner of Best Mortgage. Every week I talk with seniors who love their home and want to stay, but feel financial pressure every month. Property taxes keep going up. Insurance costs more. Everyday bills add up, and for some, they still have a mortgage payment. If you're wondering how long your savings need to last, a reverse mortgage may be worth a look. It could eliminate your mortgage payment, pay off debts, and give you breathing room every month. Now, I want to make it clear it's not right for everyone, but for the right person, it can be a very smart financial tool. When you call Best Mortgage, you'll speak directly with me. I'll explain your options and tell you honestly if it makes sense for you. If you want to stay in your home with less financial stress, call me, 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage. Honest advice you can trust. 425-649-6000.
Tune in to The Money Professor with Chris Longworth.
Having some certainty about your plan is definitely going to give you all the advantages.
Chris has the heart of an educator.
If you really want to do this correctly, then you get to enjoy every day of retirement like it's a Saturday. And if you don't, it's a Monday for the rest of your life.
Tune in to The Money Professor with Chris Longworth, Saturdays at 8 a.m. right here on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Car
Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealer with the largest selection of Subarus in Washington. With over 800 vehicles in stock, they have exactly what you're looking for with savings you'll love. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. A 13th night of airstrikes between the U.S. and Iran, and President Trump now says he's considering even tougher attacks in the coming days.
Senior officials tell ABC News the options include strikes as large as Operation Epic Fury's opening days, possibly even bigger. After Iranian allied Houthis in Yemen struck 2 Saudi ships in the Red Sea, the president warning if they do this again, major military punishment will be inflicted upon Iran and the Houthis.
ABC's Karen Hua. President Trump's latest set of tariff hikes provoking objections from numerous countries. The move in response to the Supreme Court striking down the president's earlier tariffs. The European Union ruling today that TikTok fails to protect the privacy of minors by allowing adults to view their accounts. The action exposing children to cyberbullying and potential predatory behavior, the EU says. Another day of flash flood warnings in the east, including parts of North Carolina, where they've been pummeled by rain in recent days. This is ABC News. The Epstein files debated on Capitol Hill once again as former Barclays Bank executive Jess Staley sitting in for a closed-door hearing in the House Oversight Committee. Staley served as Jeffrey Epstein's private banker at J.P. Morgan Chase for years. He is not charged with anything. However, Democratic Congressman Robert Garcia says
Mr. Staley is clearly, in our opinion, just not being truthful and flat-out lying. The reality is that he's claiming first that he had no real friendship with Jeffrey Epstein. I mean, that is just ridiculous. There is documented evidence, including in the Epstein files and numerous emails, of a decades-long friendship, and not just a friendship, references of being best friends, of close friends.
Getting a home loan is getting even more expensive. Freddie Mac says the average rate for a 30-year loan is up to 6.58%. Burger King is offering a new guarantee. If you don't like your Whopper, you can get it remade on the spot, and you can get your next one for free. I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
At 6:02, here's what's happening.
Again, everyone on board a Kenmore Air float plane is accounted for after it crashed and caught fire in the San Juans yesterday. We'll get more details from Luke Ducey.
7 homes are gone as the railroad fire burns in Grant County near Vantage. About 500 people in Beverly and Schwana are now under level 3 go now evacuation orders.
Seattle police are working to identify a body found in a wooded area near 35th Avenue Northeast yesterday. Detectives say the remains may have been there a while. No signs of foul play.
And the Mariners open a road series against AL West rival Texas later today.
It's now 6:03 and time for a check on your early Friday drive. We do traffic every 10 minutes. Sully?
And we are doing really well. We're starting the day with a Friday light situation. The slowing that we had over the last hour coming down out of Marysville is gone. We had a little stall right at the Snohomish River before SR2 in Everett, but that's all gone. We're all green on the map again from Marysville down into Everett, so don't have to worry about that. That's put to bed for this Friday. Looking at 35 minutes then from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. We really don't even have any slowing yet past the forced merge in Northgate. Rest of the map, the Valley Freeway, a little bit of slowing in Auburn and really up to Kent, and then at the north end, but 40 minutes. Puyallup to Renton is good. Renton to Bellevue is only 15. Olympia to Tacoma's got a 30-minute trip. Federal Way to Seattle's 35. The Lake Bridges are super quiet, so let's try to keep it going. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It was a terrifying crash of a Kenmore Air float plane near Susha Island yesterday evening, and it was all caught on video.
That plane was carrying 11 people, including the pilot, and KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is here with more details.
Yeah, let's start by reiterating that all 11 people on board that plane survived. That's great news. Here's video, though, of the crash. Really scary. We're going to have it on our YouTube feed if you're watching. Captured by a boater nearby who was watching the float plane, just admiring the moment. And we've all seen these float planes take off and land. It's pretty cool to watch every single time. And until he realizes the pilot was struggling to stay in the air, then the plane veered left, and you can hear the impact on a rock. All right, listen to this.
Holy cow, this is so cool. I can't believe he's doing this. Oh God, I hope he's okay.
Yeah, the pilot was attempting to make an emergency landing, apparently, but investigators have not released what caused that emergency. This was a de Havilland Otter float plane, the kind you see, again, every day, taking off and landing at Lake Union in Seattle. This one did take off from Lake Union in Seattle. The crash happened around 5:15 in the evening. Several boaters who were there rushed to the scene to rescue passengers who were on the rocks coming off of the plane that was smashed and it caught fire. 2 passengers were taken to a hospital in Bellingham, 2 others to a hospital care facility in Orcas Island. 1 person was listed in critical condition. Here's what aviation expert John Nance told KIRO 7 TV.
We all want the answers immediately, but we're never going to get them. Not all of them, at least. Was weather a factor? Very likely it was a factor, but exactly in what degree or to what degree, we don't know yet.
Yeah, there's speculation that lightning may have hit the plane. Kenmore Air said in a statement, quote, out of respect for those involved, we will not speculate regarding the cause of the accident. They also said, their CEO, our highest priority is the care and support of our passengers, our pilot, and their families in this moment. Federal investigators are now looking into this crash. So scary. We're going to have more video on social media. I've got it up right now and also on mynorthwest.com.
Luke Ducey reporting live. It's coming up on 6:06.
An Alaska Airlines flight from Oakland to Seattle made an emergency landing in Eugene yesterday after reporting engine trouble. The Boeing 737-800 was carrying 161 passengers, 6 crew members. Air traffic control audio indicates pilots reported low oil pressure, shut down 1 engine, and safely diverted to Eugene. No injuries reported.
Kaiser Canyon fire north of the Grand Coulee Dam has now burned almost 90,000 acres. KIRO 7 TV's Elle Thomas has more.
Firefighters there bracing for dangerous conditions through the weekend. New level 3 evacuations have been issued for the Coyote Creek area, while some evacuation levels near Nespelem have been reduced. Right now, that fire just 3% contained.
Firefighters are making progress on the railroad fire in Grant County. The blaze has triggered level 3 evacuations of the entire towns of Beverly and Schwana. That's south of I-90. About 400 people impacted. Kyle Foreman with the Grant County Sheriff's Office tells KIRO Newsradio.
Command is saying there's zero containment. However, they do have good control with the firefighting aircraft and the large amount of state mobilized fire resources that have responded to the scene.
7 homes have been lost, another 200 in both towns threatened. No injuries reported. Firefighters dealing with breezy winds and triple-digit temperatures.
Keeping you informed since 1974.
This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
It's just incredible everybody survived that crash.
I couldn't believe it. After I saw the video first and then read the details.
And see all that fire. Man.
Thank heavens, though.
Indeed. Well, we've made it to Friday, July 24th. She's Manda Factor. I'm Charlie Harger. Sully is here checking traffic on the 3s. Friday light so far, huh?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're looking really good out there.
Maybe we should have you do some light janitorial on Fridays. What do you think?
That's possible. Or maybe I could go out and work on the Xfinity truck with Jeff. Xfinity came by the house yesterday. We had a little issue. Jeff listens to the show. Listens to the station all day.
Yeah.
Jeff, a listener of the station, wanted to make sure I shouted him out for doing a really good job for getting our services back up and running yesterday.
Sounds like a handsome, smart guy.
Yes, definitely. He looked really good. Long-time listener.
Little intimidating with just his physical build and structure.
Well, we were both similar looking.
Where are you going with this, Charlie?
I'm not really sure.
Our listeners are handsome, smart people. What can I say?
That is true. So thanks to Jeff for getting us set up.
All right. And David, you're here. You have any big weekend plans?
No, and we can't get this off the rails already in the show. We just started the 6 a.m.
Oh, you wait.
It back in, Chuck.
Just you wait for the commentary today. It'll be completely off the rails.
Well, that's coming up at 7:35.
It's Seattle's Morning News. This hour is brought to us by American Crawl Space and Pest Control.
Coming up this hour, President Trump threatens a massive attack on Iran. We're going to get the latest from ABC's White House correspondent Karen Travers.
And KIRO Newsradio's Katrina Gishard with her weekly parenting feature. Toddler getting a lot of attention after his mom filmed him practicing parenting skills. Katrina has that story coming up.
It's now 6:09. Seattle police are investigating after a body was found in a wooded area near 35th Avenue Northeast and 33rd Place Northeast about 2:30 yesterday afternoon. Officers responded to a 911 call and confirmed finding the body. Here's SPD Detective Brian Pritchard.
Our ME is there and will, of course, make the determination if there was any trauma
or any foul play.
Investigators say the remains appear to have been there for some time.
3 women are recovering after that shooting in North Seattle that left one of them with multiple gunshot wounds. Seattle City Council members Deborah Juarez and Bob Kettle says the violence underscores the need for stronger round-the-clock response to crime and sex trafficking along Aurora. Police say that gunman fired more than 20 shots at women who were just sitting in a car just after midnight near Aurora and 96.
A man sitting on a downtown Seattle sidewalk was stabbed by a stranger last night. Seattle police say it happened about 8:30 at the corner of 5th and Stewart. Police say the attack appeared to be completely unprovoked. The suspect took off running east on Olive Way. Officers chased him down a few blocks away near 8th and Pike. The victim was taken to Harborview. Injuries are not life-threatening.
A Pokemon executive living in Kirkland is facing 4 felony charges in King County, including dealing in child sexual exploitation material and first-degree voyeurism. Prosecutors say Ben Tsai hid cameras in bathrooms at Starbucks, Safeway, his own home, and his workplace. Casey McNerney is with the King County Prosecuting Attorney's Office.
The repeated violations of privacy of others is really concerning, and prosecutors say that these allegations show a real danger to the community, which is why prosecutors wanted him held on a $500,000 bail.
Set to be arraigned on August 4th.
The Seattle Fire Department wants to start using drones.
The department is proposing adding up to 3 drones to its fleet of emergency response apparatus. They'd be used when having an aerial view would make things safer for firefighters, paramedics, and residents. They could be used for building and brush fires, water and technical rescues, hazmat responses, and mass casualty incidents. They would only provide a live stream of an incident to fire personnel, which wouldn't be recorded, and no one outside the department would be allowed to view it. The fire department says if that technology had been in place last year, they would have used it about 2,600 times. For perspective, they were dispatched to more than 108,000 incidents in 2025. Frank Lenzi, KIRO Newsradio.
Mariners have fired assistant hitting coach Bobby Magianis. The move comes as Seattle's offense continues to struggle with the second half of the season underway. Here's Mariners insider Shannon Dreyer with our sister station 710 Seattle Sports.
Hitting coaches, they work tirelessly with the players. So this is a move that hits not just the players, but the staff very hard as they see the work that goes on. And this is one of them. And unfortunately, situations have led up to this.
M's open a road series against AL West rival Texas today.
Bloomberg News reports several big-name investors could partner with the Khosla family to buy the Seattle Seahawks. Among them, the Carlyle Group, New York-based Dynasty Equity Partners, former Sequoia Capital managing partner Mark Stevens, and private equity firm 6th Street Partners. No deals have been finalized. The Carlyle Group is the majority owner of the Seattle Reign FC.
It's 6:12. Nick Allard has the morning off. Taking a look at the forecast, we're expecting morning clouds, but afternoon sunny and warm. A high of 83 today. Occasional showers tomorrow and Sunday, however. Highs both days in Seattle. Forecast at 74. Start to warm up a bit and clear out on Monday and Tuesday with highs in the mid to upper 70s. Right now, we have partly cloudy skies. It's 59 in Seattle.
It's now 6:13. That's time for a check on traffic. Every 10 minutes on the threes. Here's Chris Sullivan.
We're doing really well out there, as you would imagine. Just slight hesitations here and there, primarily on the Valley Freeway. Everywhere else looks to be pretty good. But we do have a little braking getting into Kent, a little bit at the north end. But we're under 40 minutes to make that drive from Puyallup to Renton. So pretty good. Renton to Bellevue is only 15. Olympia to Tacoma is only 30. Really don't even have much to through Nisqually at this point. Federal Way to Seattle is only 35. So we're doing really well. Now, southbound I-5 does have a little braking right there at Northgate down to about 92nd as people work their way right out of the HOB lane. Of course, you can't get into the express lane southbound because of Revive I-5. But 35 minutes from Everett to Seattle's not bad. A little under 35, actually, from Everett to Seattle. Lake bridges are in great shape. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Seattle's morning news. Hear it live. Stream it online. Watch the show or catch the podcast anytime. Seattle's morning news, wherever you are.
President Trump says he's considering a massive attack, in his words, bigger than ever before.
Let's bring in ABC News White House correspondent Karen Travers. Karen, did he say what a massive attack on Iran would look like?
He didn't. This was in comments to Axios that were published yesterday. The president said he's considering a massive attack bigger than ever before, and also said he is close to making a decision. We are all set for it. Two senior administration officials told us the president is considering a range of options to dramatically escalate U.S. military strikes on Iran. And I should note that overnight, the U.S. launched a 13th consecutive night of strikes against Iran. But this would be an expansion of what those would look like. These officials say that the options the president is considering is a return to the level of full-scale attacks that we saw during those opening days of this operation, possibly even more so. We were pointed to comments from Secretary of State Marco Rubio yesterday, who had said that Iran would pay a disproportionate price for their recent actions. Rubio said that the Iranian foreign minister had recently said that their policy is an eye for an eye. And Rubio said, quote, the president's policy is a head for an eye. That's what it's going to be. They will pay a very heavy price.
We have heard similar bluster from the president in the past. Is there any indication this is different?
No, and it's not clear. And that's a really good point. And reporters have tried to push him on this. My colleague Mary Bruce tried to do that earlier this week, asking him basically what the end game is here. Is it just to keep bombing Iran until they come to the negotiating table? And he wouldn't say, and he wouldn't give an indication, but insisted then that Iran is desperate to make a deal because they're getting so badly decimated. He said similar this week. He told Axios, though, that he's not willing to negotiate because they haven't received enough pain yet, as he put it. But he also said in remarks yesterday that while Iran would like to do something, he says they're not ready yet. So it's a bit of a mixed message even on where this is intended to go and where the president believes Iran is in terms of negotiations.
Karen, has Iran responded to these most recent threats?
Well, they're, of course, pushing back and saying that they will respond with similar strikes and target U.S. assets in the region. That's been their posture for the last several days by saying, that they will take these threats from the president and go after military assets. And we saw them do that almost after every single strike in the last handful of days. Overnight, the Iran Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps announced that they had launched another wave of drone attacks against U.S. military assets in Kuwait. There were sirens sounded in Bahrain this morning, according to the Ministry of Interior there. And then there were reports of explosions in Iraq as well. So, it's notable to hear the administration say that these CENTCOM strikes are aimed at degrading Iran's capabilities to go after commercial shipping in the Strait of Hormuz. And the president keeps making threats about that. But Iran has also turned around after every one of these U.S. strikes in the last 2 weeks and targeted U.S. allies and assets in the region.
Polling has shown widespread skepticism about this Iran war in the United States. Is that playing in any way with the president's decision matrix here?
It doesn't seem like it is, because the president seems to be disregarding that when he talks publicly and says that the American people back him on this, despite what we're seeing in public surveys. The president has said, people don't want Iran to have a nuclear weapon, and he believes he has support to continue this.
Karen, before we let you go, a nuclear deal between the U.S. and Saudi Arabia was in the works this week. Is that still on the table?
It is. It was done. The Secretary of Energy signed it. The Minister of Energy from Saudi Arabia signed it, and they were finalized and sending it to Congress for review. But now the president appears to be dramatically changing the terms of it, putting in a new condition that could throw the whole deal up into question. He says that the deal is now subject to Saudi Arabia joining the Abraham Accords, which means they would have to normalize relations with Israel, something that Saudi Arabia has said they will not do until Israel commits to a Palestinian state. So that is certainly a very complicating curveball after the deal had been finalized by both countries.
All right. ABC News White House correspondent Karen Travers. Karen, thanks for your time today.
Thanks so much.
New tariffs are being imposed on dozens of countries over their labor practices. The latest from News Nation Washington correspondent Gabriel Caracciolo.
The new tariffs range from 10 to 12.5%, impacting 60 trading partners, who the Trump administration says have failed to enforce bans on goods produced by forced labor. That's on top of the 25% tariffs on some Brazilian goods and 50% tariffs on most Canadian exports the administration just imposed. Earlier this week, U.S. Trade Rep Jameson Greer told senators a national emergency in trade still exists.
This comes after the Supreme Court ruled against the tariffs imposed by the Trump administration last year.
White House Correspondents' Dinner returns with stepped-up security and a new location after a gunman crashed April's event. News Nation Washington correspondent Corey Smith has the latest.
Secret Service Director Sean Curran says his agency is taking the necessary precautions to keep the president and everyone else at the dinner safe. Now, tonight, part of that plan includes enhanced screening procedures, airport-style magnetometers, a controlled entry point. Even the tickets are different. They're now digital. But perhaps the biggest change is the venue itself. Tonight's dinner will be held at the Waldorf Astoria instead of the Washington Hilton. And the guest list, much smaller, capped at 680 people instead of the 2,600 who attended in April.
First Lady, Vice President, and Secretary of State are not expected to attend.
More protests are expected today in Madison, Wisconsin, following the shooting death of a homeless man by police. News Nation's Nick Smith reports tension remains high as people push police for answers.
The mayor of Madison, Wisconsin, pleading for calm this morning as tensions show no sign of lowering after that shooting. Protesters took over the police department's news conference Thursday as they tried to update the public on that investigation.
We have the power, not that badge, not that weapon. We have the power. The city of Madison is corrupt. Give me this microphone then, excuse me. That's right.
Those protesters demanding immediate criminal charges for the officer who shot and killed 38-year-old Corey Ruiz, a black man. The incident was caught on camera. Police were responding to calls of a man trying to get into parked cars. They say when the officers tried to stop him, Ruiz took off on a bicycle. Officers eventually caught up with him, and cell phone video shows officers and Ruiz in a struggle. Police Chief John Patterson says Ruiz pulled a knife and injured one of those officers. An officer then fired a taser, but police say it did not work. Authorities say the officer who was injured shot Ruiz, who later died at the hospital. The Wisconsin Department of Justice is now leading an independent investigation.
The use of physical force by police is a sacred and public trust. He also said that more than the force of department uses, the less trust and support it has from the people it serves. The more force we use, the less trust we have. That is the tension that we are living through right now in this city, and I can physically feel it.
Part of what's fanning the flames of outrage is that there are multiple civilian videos of the shooting circulating on social media, but there is no official video captured by police because officers in Madison, Wisconsin are not required to wear body cameras. The shooting happening just weeks before early voting next month, and as of now, every candidate in the governor's race is calling for an independent investigation into that shooting.
Patterson has urged caution in reading too much from the cell phone videos. He says none show the perspective of the officers. The officer who shot Ruiz is an 11-year veteran of the force.
Kirkland police say they've sniffed out a suspect accused of stealing $500,000 worth of perfume, cologne, and other merchandise from stores across the Puget Sound area. Detectives arrested the man at his Kent home.
One running.
Tried to escape out a second-story window, but they caught him. He's being held on $255,000 bail. The months-long investigation tracked what police describe as a regional organized retail theft operation spanning multiple cities.
Just about 6:23. That's time for traffic around here. We do that every 10 minutes on the threes. Chris Sullivan, what do you see?
Well, just a little bit of building volume out there. We got a little extra company for this Friday light, but overall, we're still in good shape. We do have a couple of places that red on the map that have popped up. One of them, as you probably guessed, could be southbound I-5, right there through the Forest Merge in Northgate as you work your way down past 92nd. After that, it's not too bad, but give yourself about 40 minutes to make it from Everett into Seattle. Still 35 from Everett to Bellevue, so we're still pretty good away from Linwood down through Canyon Park. The other spot that has the red on the map is right there through the Renton S-curves. No shocker there either. Basically right there where all the weaving and merging from the Maple Valley Highway, where it comes on. By the time you're up to Sunset there, where you would get off at the Boeing plant or the landing, you're in pretty good shape. We're still under 20 minutes, but not by much as you make your way up into the I-90 corridor. The Puyallup to Renton Drive running about 40 minutes now. We do have some off and on slowing. You're under the speed limit from about Emerald Downs up to 272nd. 77th, that is, and then at the north end, a little bit of braking. The Olympia to Tacoma Drive, no problems for you guys. Federal Way to Seattle, we're enjoying a pretty good day. A little braking in the Michigan Curve as you work your way up past the West Seattle Bridge, but we're under 40 minutes to make the trip. This report brought to you by Home Comfort Alliance. AC not working? Don't assume the worst. Home Comfort Alliance, repairs first, only replaces if needed. Get a real pricing quote in 60 seconds. HomeComfortAlliance.com.
Nice warm day on tap. Partly cloudy, 83 the high. Tomorrow, few showers, 74, maybe some more showers on Sunday. 74 also the forecast high. Right now in Seattle, it is partly cloudy and 59.
Coming up, a high-risk sex offender is being unconditionally released in King County this week. The community is outraged. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey will have more.
We'll also have the opening bell report here on Seattle's Morning News.
KIRO News Radio, where you hear G and Ursula, weekdays 9 to noon.
Me personally, Ursula, shorts in the workplace should not happen. There's no way.
It's a bridge too far for you.
Put some pants on.
What if everyone in the office building is wearing shorts or very casual attire? If you're like so buttoned up and everyone else is casual, including the boss, I think you might be taking it too far.
Subscribe to the G and Ursula Show on YouTube and watch live or later.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Hey, Albert, can you help us plan and budget for a bathroom renovation?
I certainly can. Let me review your finances.
Who are you talking to?
Albert, my AI financial assistant that I can access right in the app. It automates all things finance, moves money, pays bills, creates personalized alerts, finds savings, and so much more.
Your bathroom renovation financial plan is ready. I found cash you can put aside, and to cover the rest, Albert can get you up to $10,000 fast.
Can you find contractors nearby within our budget?
Here's a list of contractors. Would you like help requesting a $10,000 loan for your bathroom renovation?
Yes!
Download the Albert app and use promo code MULTIPLY to access Genius. Plus, get up to $10,000 for whatever you need. Just download the Albert app right now and use promo code MULTIPLY to get up to $10,000. That's promo code MULTIPLY.
Anthony Hamilton with Tony, live in the Tulalip Amphitheater, Thursday, September 10th. Tickets are on sale now. Details at TulalipCasino.com.
How would you like to invest in the Seattle real estate market, one of the hottest and most stable regions in the country, and achieve a great rate of return on your investment without the effort of sourcing a deal, the expense and time of building permits, or all the hassles that come with being a landlord? Hi, I'm Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Invest in the stability and ease of Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund. Legacy Group Capital at LegacyG.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at LegacyG.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Jane is a small business owner.
That's right.
And tell them what that's like, Jane.
Yeah, well, it's like a roller coaster with a lot of ups and downs, and some days things can feel like they're flying off the rails.
Yep, it's a lot. But the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business can help you manage it all. With the largest, fastest fiber-powered network designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect. Plus gig speeds with security and equipment included. All with a 5-year price lock.
Nice. So everything stays on track.
Exactly. The Total Solutions Advantage. Get started for just $60 a month for 12 months when you add wireless connect to a qualifying internet package. No one does business like Comcast Business.
Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and automatic payments with bank account required. $60 offer requires 300 meg internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
At Seattle Children's Hospital, 1 in 3 patient families can't afford the food their kids need to heal. Safeway and Jackson Smith & Jigba are fighting back with the Food First Project. No barriers, just help for families right now. Learn more at Safeway.com.
Experience the thrill of seeing orcas and humpback whales with Puget Sound Express. Join their family-run tours for guaranteed whale sightings departing daily from Edmonds. These are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Book now at PugetSoundExpress.com.
Well, it's official. My friends have all switched to Pure Talk because I told them they could save a bunch of money on a super reliable high-speed network with unlimited data. And because they're my friends, they trust me. As for the rest of you, well, Pure Talk understands that even though you might like me, you're not just going to take my word for it, nor should you. For that reason, and for a very limited time, Pure Talk is offering any of their plans for just $15 a month for the first 3 months, including their top-tier unlimited plan that normally sells for $65 a month. Think of it like a test drive, a super simple way to save $150 while you kick the tires on Pure Talk's blazing fast network, and a fine way to see for yourself why I switched from big wireless, along with a few 100,000 of my closest friends. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and be connected to Pure Talk's friendly U.S. customer service team. Again, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and let the savings begin.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It's 6:30. 11 people are alive after a fiery float plane crash near Susha Island yesterday.
Here's KIRO 7 TV's Eric Thomas.
Kenmore Air Flight 140 crash landed in Shallow Bay.
Hey,
just stay there. In Susha Island just after 5:15. 10 passengers plus the pilot surviving with various injuries, and one person is in critical condition, but everyone is accounted for.
What we don't know yet, and what we will know fairly soon, is was this an attempted emergency landing, and if so, what went wrong? But certainly the idea of a possibility of a landing that didn't go well is very extant.
As for first responders managing such a remote location, only accessible by boat, more than half a dozen different agencies successfully responded.
The King County Sheriff's Office is defending the handling of a convicted sex offender's release into an Enumclaw area neighborhood after angry residents packed a virtual town hall.
KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey joins us live with more.
Yeah, the offender, Robert Lowe, was convicted of first-degree rape and attempted murder in the 1990s and had been held at the Special Commitment Center on McNeil Island as a sexually violent predator. But you know, this story is also a moment for anyone concerned about any sex offenders living near them. It's pretty easy to look up how many are living in your area on King County's website. I looked this morning, and there are 9 registered sex offenders within a mile of my house, including 5 level 3 offenders. There are 2 within just a few blocks of our studio here as well. Detective Chris Knudsen told a large virtual crowd of concerned residents, psychologists hired by the state and the defense, it concluded Lowe was no longer meeting the legal standard to remain committed, so a judge ordered his unconditional release. And neighbors had a long list of questions. What's the plan to keep the neighborhood safe? Well, here's Knudsen.
That's what community notification is intended to achieve. Beyond that, beyond making sure that he's compliant with his registration requirements, it's so that community members can be aware of who's in the neighborhood and take appropriate steps.
Now, they also wanted to know if deputies would want this person living next to them.
It wouldn't be my choice to have him living next to my family, but ultimately, we don't really get choices in who our neighbors are for the most part.
And also, finally, I think this is one of the most pointed questions they asked. What consequences will there be for the sheriff's office or anyone else if he reoffends?
So I know it's hard to hear, but we don't have any authority to restrict where he lives or where he works or goes to school or, the community that he's in. We do everything that we can within our legal authority to keep the community safe.
The sheriff's office classified Lowe as a level 3 or high-risk offender. The Department of Corrections determined he does not qualify for supervision. GPS and movement restrictions also do not apply under an unconditional court-ordered release. A lot of concerned people in this town, a lot of pointed questions, and they got answers, maybe not the ones they were looking for.
All right. Thanks for the update there, Luke. It's 6:33 now.
Hey, the Seafair Torchlight Parade is back on the Seattle waterfront tomorrow. This year's Grand Marshal is none other than Mariners broadcasting legend Rick Riz. We're going to talk to him this morning at 8:15. The parade kicks off at 7:30 along Alaskan Way from Broad Street near Olympic Sculpture Park south to Yesler. Expect marching bands, floats, dancing dragons in the works. If you want to make a day out of it, the beer garden at Pier 62 opens at 1.
All right.
May as well just hang out all day.
Yeah, okay. It looks like it'll be nice weather, too, for it. Okay.
Not bad.
Time to check traffic every 10 minutes, and Sully is watching the roads for us.
I wasn't paying attention to anything going on. I heard beer garden. What?
It opens at 1.
Squirrel? Squirrel? Beer garden? Okay. Right now, we do have one issue to tell you about. Southbound I-5 comes to an all-stop as you go south of about the Boeing Freeway there in the South Everett area. That's because of a crash right near 128th. It did have the HOV lane blocked for just a little bit. The HOV lane has reopened, but there's still a ton of distraction on the left-hand side of the road. So expect some delays through that area. A couple of minutes, maybe total. Give yourself about 45 now to make it from Everett down into Seattle. We do have heavier braking now through Northgate, legitimate now. About 40 minutes from Everett down into Bellevue. A little slowing at 522, but really that's it. Northbound 405, I'm seeing some braking up past the VMAC. Not sure if that's all the players reporting today for the start of training camp. I can't imagine there'd be that many. I mean, it's a 53-man roster plus a couple dozens. But we are really heavy from 30th to that construction zone. So I'm checking in to see if we might have something there. About 20 minutes, we're into Bellevue. Behind that, the Valley Freeway, about 40 as well, Federal Way to Seattle. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
And our forecast, a very nice day. It's going to be partly sunny and 83 today. The weekend, we might see a few light showers here and there, both Saturday and Sunday. Nothing too threatening. A mix of sun and clouds and highs in the low to mid 70s. Monday, back to the upper 70s with lots of sunshine for next week. Right now in Seattle, it is partly cloudy and 64.
From ABC News, Wall Street now. Yesterday's stock market retreat was driven largely by a sharp spike in oil prices as hostilities in the Middle East ramped up. The international benchmark Brent crude is again pushing $99 a barrel. Consumers are paying $4.10 on average for a gallon of gas. As one set of tariffs expires, another takes its place. The Trump administration says duties ranging from 10 to 12.5% are being slapped on imports from 60 countries that it says don't do enough to stop forced labor. After a series of high-profile incidents, public skepticism of driverless taxis has only intensified. But now an independent study has found that Waymo's robocabs are indeed involved in fewer crashes than human drivers. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
More on the oil situation, with several Saudi oil tankers now becoming targets for the Iranian-backed Houthis. Many worry another choke point could be coming for the global oil industry. ABC's Matt Rivers has more from Jordan.
We've been talking about the Strait of Hormuz for months, but less so about a strait called Bab el-Manda, just off the coast of Yemen in the Red Sea. 10 to 12% of all global shipping goes through that strait each year, and now a lot of Saudi oil does as well. The fear now is what happens if the Houthis and Iran jointly decide to close Bab el-Mandeb altogether, causing oil prices to skyrocket.
President Trump announced artificial intelligence companies and other major tech firms will pay for the power infrastructure needed to support new data centers. White House spokesperson Caroline Leavitt.
President Trump's bold leadership is turning data centers from a source of concern into engines of growth and opportunity for communities across this country, all while cementing America's dominance over China in the global AI race.
Trump said AI companies will build and pay for the power plants and other energy infrastructure needed to operate their data centers. Said it will strengthen the electric grid while preventing higher utility costs for households.
A plant-based food company is shutting down its Stanwood factory and laying off about 123 workers. The Puget Sound Business Journal reports No Meat Factory filed a closure notice with the state yesterday. The British Columbia-based company opened the plant just 2 years ago after a $19 million purchase and major renovations. Layoffs are set to begin in mid-September.
Now getting reports of who might be partnering up with the Khosla family to buy the Seattle Seahawks.
The Carlyle Group, a New York-based global investment firm which bought 97% of the Seattle Reign. New York-based Dynasty Equity Partners Management. Former Sequoia Capital managing partner Mark Stevens and the private equity firm 6th Street Partners. According to Bloomberg News, all of them are potential investors that could partner up with the Khosla family. Earlier this month, the Paul G. Allen estate announced it had agreed to sell the team to the Khosla family-led ownership group. The reported price tag, $9.6 billion. Frank Lenzi, KIRO News Radio.
From ABC News Tech Trends.
AI and new foldable phones at the heart of Samsung's recent Galaxy Unpacked event. But also taking center stage, new wearables.
Galaxy Watch Ultra 2 is our most powerful Galaxy Watch yet.
Samsung's John Engelhardt says the Ultra 2 packs a battery that can go up to 60 hours on a single charge and can guide you around when you're out exercising.
During your run, you get turn-by-turn navigation.
Dr. Sharon Yadasai works on building health technology at Samsung.
With Galaxy Watch 9, proactive care reaches a new level, helping transform what you learn about your body into smarter, healthier routines.
And later this year, new upgraded sleep apnea tech will be enabled. Both watches will be available in early August. No release date yet, but shown off the upcoming Samsung smart glasses. There won't be a display included. Instead, Samsung is keeping the AI interactions audio only. With Tech Trends, Dave Packer, ABC News.
On Wall Street, the Dow is opening up in positive territory, up 90 points. The S&P 500 is ahead by 8. NASDAQ is down 44 points.
A word for KIRO 7. It starts on your street, in your home, with a problem you're struggling to solve. That's where KIRO 7 Investigates comes in. They show up, they ask hard questions, they get you answers. When your story is seen, change isn't just possible, it's already happening. Watch KIRO 7 News weeknights 5 to 6:30 p.m. and at KIRO7.com/investigates.
It's 6:40. Chris, what's your traffic hotspot?
Well, we're going to take a look at this crash on southbound 5 in Everett and look for something on northbound 405 near the VMAC. We'll break it down next.
The opening bell is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital Common Sense Lending.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
All right, I'm very excited to be speaking with Phil Mitchell. He is a new advertiser on the show. He owns Sunset Auto Family. Phil, welcome.
Thanks, Jake.
I want to talk about something that I cannot stress enough, how valuable this is for anybody who's looking for a car. You guys do oil changes for life. What does that mean?
Well, basically, it means if you buy a car that qualifies for oil changes for life, we're going to give you 5 oil changes a year. And they're about $150 now. You know, oil goes up and down, but guess what? We're going to change the oil for as long as you own that vehicle on us.
Like you're saying, oil changes are $150. They're even more if you're driving a diesel. And so you hold on to a vehicle for 10 years. That's like $10,000.
Oh, it can be even more than that. We've got a guy that's been changing his oil since 1985. He's gotten more oil changes than the car cost. And we're still changing it for him because that's what we do. We're your lifetime dealer.
And this is what people are going to get at Sunset Auto Family.
That's right. Great service for as long as you own the vehicle.
Oil changes for life. Only at Sunset Kia in Auburn, Sunset Ford, and Sunset Chevrolet in Sumner. You just get more at Sunset. And people do like that.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. But at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited everything for just $35 a line. That's $35 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. Switch to the carrier ranked #1 in network coverage and customer satisfaction and get unlimited everything for just $35 a month. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit Consumer Cellular online or in-store today. Price includes $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. Taxes and fees apply. Data speeds reduced after 35 gigabytes. Rankings done by 2025 ACSI survey.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Hartley Wilcox here. Do you know where your food comes from? If it's perishable, you should read the package. Wilcox Farms eggs are locally fresh from Washington. For the freshest choice, choose Wilcox Family Farms.
Holy smokes! The On Cruise Adventures Rick Riz Show.
What happened at the ballpark yesterday?
Sparky's sitting on my scorebook here, my cat.
Friday mornings at 8:15 on Seattle's Morning News.
6:43 now. Chris Sullivan has traffic.
And I could use a little help from our KIRO drivers. If you're heading up the 405 corridor from Renton, it's pretty heavy up past SR 900 and through the construction zone by the VMAC there at 44th. Let me know if you're seeing anything other than just the construction there, or anything else. I haven't found anything. I just ran the cameras. Just kind of heavy. I mean, you're jogging from one side of the road to the other through that construction zone. But we're up to about 25 minutes to go from Renton to Bellevue. I haven't found anything. If you do, you can always hit me up again. Voice to text, passenger text. Don't do it till you get to where you're destination. I don't want you getting a distracted driving ticket, or I don't want you distracted driving at all. Looking at the Valley Freeway behind that, we are looking pretty good. About 40 minutes from end to end. There's a little slowing westbound 410 getting towards Traffic Ave, coming down from Valley Ave. I'm not sure if that's anything other than volume. I'm checking into that. Eastbound 512, a little slow down the South Hill, but manageable for a Friday. Federal Way to Seattle's only 40 minutes. The crash that we had up near 128th in South Everett is still there, but it's no longer blocking the HOV lane. That's why you hit the brakes right around the Boeing Freeway, and you're kind of meandering slow past 112th there, past the bus barn, or the transit center, and then you get through that okay. Then you pick up the braking in Northgate. So 45 minutes from Everett to Seattle, about 40 from Everett to Bellevue. So not too bad down 405 coming away from Linwood. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
And our forecast, not bad for a Friday. We're going to warm up to 83 for today. Partly sunny for the afternoon hours. For tomorrow and Sunday, maybe a few scattered showers. Nothing major. We'll see some peaks of sunshine, but mostly cloudy for the weekend, mid-70s. Then Monday, back to some sunshine, upper 70s for the bulk of the week, it looks like. Right now in Seattle, partly cloudy and 64.
Coming up, toddlers' parenting skills are going viral.
I'm sorry?
Well, KIRO News Radio's Katrina Gishard will explain.
Okay, that's next on Seattle's Morning News.
What would you do if the person you love needed round-the-clock care and you had no plan to pay for it?
I was very worried about running out of money.
When Mike's wife was diagnosed with dementia, he turned to LifePoint Law and Elder Law attorney Rajiv Nagayich.
And then he said, "You're going to be okay, but we have to get through these steps." Then I felt a whole lot better going into it. It was still a very difficult process, but in the end, I knew that there was someone there that if I needed help, understood what I'm going through.
LifePoint Law helped Mike protect his wife, his finances, and his future.
They laid it out really well up front. They give you a very in-depth plan. There are so many things that you don't know. I could never have done it on my own.
Register for a free LifePoint Law retirement planning seminar in Federal Way August 1st, Puyallup on the 4th, Tacoma on the 6th, or Bellevue August 8th. Space is limited, so sign up today at LifePointLaw.com. That's LifePointLaw.com.
I like it hot.
Beg your pardon?
Can you make it hot for me, Dan?
I think so.
Half heated ain't hot enough.
No.
That's why I called you.
Apollo Plumbing.
Yeah, my sorry old water heater.
Oh.
Ain't getting me the hots anymore.
You want hot water.
That's what I said.
That's what we do at Apollo Plumbing.
And you're ready?
Right now.
When can you?
How about today?
Same day?
We'll have you in hot water tonight.
Clever. How about an upgrade?
A tankless water heater would mean endless hot water.
Now you're cooking.
That's just for starters.
Starters?
How about we make it a worry-free water heater?
Worry-free?
Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Which covers?
Repair, service, all included.
And when it wears out?
Apollo replaces it.
No extra charge?
Nothing.
Nil?
Nada. As an Apollo A-list member, you're covered.
And payments?
To fit your budget with approved credit, of course.
And I'm hot again.
Worry-free.
That's for me.
We're on our way.
Thanks for making it hot.
We're ApolloPlumbing.com.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Let's talk about artificial intelligence.
I cannot answer that.
Many professions are using it, and allegedly some are even being taken over by it. At 1-800-DUI-AWAY, we know police are leveraging AI, whether it's analyzing body cam footage, reading license plates, or even facial recognition. AI has become a helpful tool, enabling officers to work more efficiently. And efficiency for them means more people getting pulled over. You can't chat GPT your way out of a high BAC. Getting legal advice from AI is no substitute for an attorney. Use AI correctly, or it can result in trouble, like a self-driving car taking you home from a bar.
You have reached your destination.
So call 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com. If you get pulled over for DUI, the only thing you need your smart device to do is call 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
1-800-DUI-AWAY.
For more than 50 years, the voice Seattle trusts. This is Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
So glad you can be with us on this Friday morning. It's 6:48.
A toddler is teaching the internet a lesson about empathy.
And the toddler is doing it with a baby doll. Here's KIRO News Radio's Katrina Gishard with our story.
Parents, this is a reminder that kids are always watching, and sometimes they're practicing for the future in the sweetest ways imaginable. A 3-year-old Pennsylvania boy named Silas has become the latest internet sensation, not for a tantrum or a toddler prank, but for being an incredibly devoted dad to his baby doll named Ellie. His mom, Mary, says it all started because Silas wanted a baby sister. Well, since that was not happening anytime soon, he picked out a baby doll instead, and he took the job pretty seriously. Mary posted a video of Silas feeding Ellie a bottle. He picked out a baby doll, and he carried her everywhere, proudly caring for her. You can see that video right now on our YouTube feed. And more than 4 million people watched it in just 1 week. And then came bath time. Mary says bedtime was pushed back 30 minutes because Silas insisted on bathing and feeding his baby when he got home from swim lessons. So, priorities, right? What struck so many parents wasn't just how adorable Silas is, it's what he's learning. Mary told ABC's Good Morning America this.
He's learning so much more than just playing with a baby. He's learning a lot of self-help skills. He's working on his own emotions and trying to communicate more, whether it's to me or Ellie.
And when some online questioned whether boys should play with dolls, Mary had this simple response.
It's a lot of good coming out from just a doll. And apparently, I guess someone said dolls are for girls, but it's much more than that. He's my child and he's happy. So that's what matters most to me, that he's happy.
The comments poured in too. One person, sorry guys, alarms. I live by my alarms. One person wrote, "All I see is you raising a competent man." Another joked, "Excuse me, ma'am, that's clearly his biological child." So whether it's a toy kitchen, a baby doll, experts have long said pretend play actually helps kids build empathy, communication, and confidence. So have any of your kids ever been, let's say, devoted to a doll or a toy like this before?
My daughter is now 15 and still has the bunny she got at Swedish Hospital when she was born.
Wow.
And it's been on many adventures and lost a couple of times, but always found.
Yes, you told me the adventure at the airport.
Oh, yeah. I, mom, bad mom, left Hop Hop in a restroom at SeaTac Airport.
Manda.
I know. About to board a plane, I realized I didn't have Hop Hop. So the nice lady at the counter helped me babysit for a second. I dashed through the airport to go find Hop Hop, and sure enough, Hop Hop was sitting there on the counter.
That could have been a crisis.
You're an incredible mom. That's dedication, okay? You went far.
I did.
What do you notice in your kids? Are they having some of these same habits now that you have 3?
Yes and no. They love their loveys, their little stuffed animals. My daughter, Kayana, has about 6 right now, and she lays them down to sleep every night, and then she lays herself down to sleep. So that's all for now.
That's good. Routine. That's learning. That's great.
Are you able to get your kids to sleep all at the same time?
Ironically, yes.
Wow.
So, it doesn't happen all the time, but when it does, it's magic. And then the whole house is quiet.
Okay. Katrina Gishard, love these parenting features. We'll have you come back next week with more.
Sounds great. Thank you.
6:52 now.
ABC Entertainment News.
I'm working on a story.
The 5th season of the morning show will be its last. The Emmy Award-winning drama, which stars and is executive produced by Reese Witherspoon and Jennifer Aniston, will return to Apple TV in 2027.
He's one of the most hardworking people I've ever met. He would never think of quitting.
Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner are getting ready to blast onto the big screen. The iconic Looney Tunes characters star alongside Will Forte in the live-action cartoon hybrid, Coyote vs. Acme. The film has released its final trailer ahead of its August 28th theatrical debut.
I'm Chris Hansen.
Catch us, Predator! Primetime has secured a release date. The new A24 drama starring Robert Pattinson has To Catch a Predator host Chris Hansen. Hits theaters on September 25th. And happy birthday to Jennifer Lopez, who is 57 today. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Well, fans from all over the world have descended upon San Diego for Comic-Con, massive annual comic and pop culture festival, which features celebrity panels and much more. Thursday was day one of the event. This woman named Brianna from Indiana was dressed as, I have no idea, Valus from the web series Critical Role.
Anyone?
Play, as you can tell, we enjoy it a lot. So we're really looking forward to the masquerade on Saturday. But other than that, Artist Alley, that's pretty much all we've done all morning is walk up and down and see all of them and their artworks. It's great.
Producer David, you don't even know?
No,
Valus
I'm a nerd,
and
I really don't know what this
Nick,
is.
Okay.
Anyone?
No, it doesn't ring a bell.
Okay, somebody is in their car right now going, how do you not know this?
I think Paul Holden's going to know. We'll
Yeah,
ask
of
when
course
he
he
gets
will.
in.
Okay. 6:53 now. We check traffic every 10 minutes on the threes. We knew better than to ask Sully.
Imagine if Sully did know. That would be amazing.
Yeah, well, I mean, because of Tommy, my son, there could have been some anime cosplay that, he dresses up as a couple people that from time to time, I have no idea who they are.
Okay.
But they're primarily
Makes him happy.
Primarily shirtless, shows off his tattoo, and he carries his katana with him.
It's about a group of professional voice actors that play Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, yeah, that sounds like something I'd really be interested in. The drive right now, we have things are easing in the South Everett area now that this crash near 128th is starting to button up. Just still a state trooper there, but not as much action left. And then you have the normal stuff in Shoreline. So we're actually under 45 minutes again from Everett down into Seattle. Everett into Bellevue is about 40 minutes. Actually, not too bad down that side of the lake at this point. Looking at northbound 405, whatever we had up by the VMAC appears to be taking care of itself. We just have kind of some meandering under the speed limit stuff as you work your way up past 44th. Overall, about 20 minutes to get you to Bellevue, maybe even under. Under 40 from Puyallup to Renton, Olympia to Tacoma is clean. Federal Way to Seattle, a little slowing down the South Hill, into South Center, a little bit past the north end, so a little over 40 minutes. Lake bridges are in great shape. This report brought to you by Seattle Sports. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube, click subscribe, and get fresh video content daily.
Our forecast, a nice day. It'll be dry today, partly sunny, warming up to the low 80s. For the weekend, not quite as warm. We'll be in the low to mid 70s. Chance of showers both Saturday and Sunday. Nothing too threatening, though. And then by Monday, we'll be back to the upper 70s with lots of sunshine. Right now, it's 64 in Seattle.
Coming up, Luke Ducey will have the latest on that Kenmore seaplane crash in the San Juan Islands yesterday.
And 2 cast members of Alicia Keys' Hell's Kitchen tell us why it's a rare must-see musical.
This is Seattle's Morning News.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Summer's finally here, and we're kicking it off with a whole lot of free. Free brake pads with Duralast rotors. Free oil filter with 5 quarts of oil. Free Armor All wipes with Armor All glass cleaner, and more. More free, so you can have more summer. Celebrate free at AutoZone. Now through July 27th. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle. Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
Don't wait, insulate. Last year, American Crawl Space and Pest Services gave over $2 million in insulation rebates from PSE, more than any provider in the state. If your home was built before 1990, you're eligible for recouping up to 95% of insulation replacement costs. Insulate with American Crawl Space and keep your home warm during the winter and cool during the summer.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
How would you like to invest in the Seattle real estate market, one of the hottest and most stable regions in the country, and achieve a great rate of return on your investment without the effort of sourcing a deal, the expense and time of building permits, or all the hassles that come with being a landlord? Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with 0 investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Invest in the stability and ease of Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund. Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
D.R. Horton's National Red Tag Sales Event is going on now through August 2nd. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. Visit drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
At Seattle Children's Hospital, 1 in 3 patient families can't afford the food their kids need to heal. Safeway and Jackson Smith & Jigba are fighting back with the Food First Project. No barriers, just help for families right now. Learn more at Safeway.com.
Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealer with the largest selection of Subarus in Washington. With over 800 vehicles in stock, they have exactly what you're looking for with savings you'll love. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Drones carrying explosives targeting a city in northern Iraq where U.S. forces are stationed. Sirens ringing out in Bahrain hours after the U.S. military said it finished its 13th night of strikes against Iran. President Trump setting off another round of tariff hikes as the other tariffs expire following a Supreme Court ruling striking them down. A slow-moving storm bringing more flooding to the Carolinas. Here's ABC Chief Meteorologist Ginger Z.
Charleston to Wilmington today finds themselves in a level 3 out of 4, so that's where some of the heaviest rain will be falling. We're talking about 3-inch per hour rainfall rates possible. That includes Myrtle Beach, right in the center of it. We've seen these heavy showers. Obviously, we know what this front can do. It's taken its sweet time getting through, and we're going to see this all the way through Saturday afternoon.
More protests in Madison, Wisconsin following the police-involved fatal shooting of a black man. Officers say the man was carrying a knife, but there's no body cam footage because the police weren't wearing them. This is ABC News. A new take on data centers may have communities rethinking what was once believed to be an easy source of revenue, building those centers. Here's ABC's Jim Ryan in Dallas.
A coalition of data center stakeholders is running ads meant to ease concerns about the threat to Texas natural resources that the facilities may pose.
They use less than 0.5% of all water used in the state, and many recycle the water they do use.
Research from the University of Texas suggests the message may not be getting through. Only 29% of respondents to a UT poll support the building of a hypothetical data center in their community. 56% are opposed. Jim Ryan, ABC News in Dallas-Fort Worth.
The Democrats are getting ready to lock in the party's 2028 presidential nominating schedule today after years of a calendar led by either Iowa or New Hampshire. Either South Carolina or Nevada are expected to go first in voting. The Dems say that would better mirror the party's diversity. I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
At 7:02, here's what's happening.
All 11 people on a Kenmore Air float plane survived after it crashed and caught fire near Susha Island in the San Juans. We'll get more details from Luke Ducey.
The railroad fire has destroyed 7 homes in Grant County, south of Vantage. Level 3 Go Now evacuations cover the towns of Beverly and Shawnee, home to about 500 people.
A stranger stabbed a man sitting on a downtown Seattle sidewalk near 5th and Stewart last night about 8:30. Police did catch a suspect after a short chase.
And the Mariners have fired an an assistant hitting coach as the offense continues to struggle. They open a series at Texas today.
It's just about 7:03, and that's time for traffic around here. We do that every 10 minutes on the threes. Chris Sullivan, your turn.
Yeah, we're doing well, Amanda. It's not too bad. Friday light out there. Just the one real heavy spot is southbound I-5 past the forced merge in Northgate. Even by most day standards, it's lighter. So we're under 45 minutes from Everett to Seattle, and we really don't have much slowing left past 128th in South Everett where we had that earlier crash. Still have a state trooper over on the left shoulder, but nothing blocking. 405 is not too bad out of Canyon Park, so it's running about 40 minutes from Everett down into Bellevue, which again, on a Friday is about what you would expect. Valley Freeway, a little bit of braking, just in some spots. I mean, just the hesitation stuff. We're under 40 minutes to make it from Puyallup to Renton, so that's a great day. Renton to Bellevue, the S-curve's even lighter than you might expect, so we'll try to keep that going. We're under 20 minutes to get you to Bellevue. Federal Way to Seattle, about 40. The brakeless lights that you hit there are right near the West Seattle Bridge. The lake bridges are quiet. Olympia to Tacoma has no problems. This report brought to you by Harborstone Credit Union. Earn up to $30 per month just for using your Harborstone PNW Cashback debit card. Open your free checking account online today, harborstone.com/cash.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It's 7:04. A terrifying crash of a Kenmore Air float plane near Susha Island yesterday evening, all caught on video.
The plane was carrying 11 people, including the pilot. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is here with the latest.
Yeah, and let's start by we're telling you again that all 11 people, let's reiterate, survived. That's the great news here. But here's video of that terrifying crash on our YouTube feed if you're watching, captured by a boater who was watching the float plane, really admiring the moment, saying, well, look at this. This is really cool, until he realizes the pilot was struggling to keep the plane in the air. The plane veers left, and then you can hear the impact on a rock. Listen to this.
Holy cow, this is so cool. I can't believe he's doing this.
Yeah, that is scary right there.
Okay.
The pilot was attempting to make an emergency landing, but investigators have not released what caused that emergency. This was a de Havilland Otter float plane, the kind you see taking off and landing at Lake Union in Seattle all the time. In fact, this one took off from Lake Union. The crash happened at 5:15 in the evening. Several boaters rushed to the scene to rescue passengers. 2 passengers were taken to the hospital in Bellingham, 2 others to a care facility on Orcas Island. 1 person was listed in critical condition. Here's what aviation expert John Nance told KIRO 7 TV.
We all want the answers immediately, but we're never going to get them. Not all of them, at least. Was weather a factor? Very likely it was a factor, but exactly in what degree or to what degree, we don't know yet.
There's speculation lightning may have hit the plane. Kenmore Air said in a statement, quote, out of respect for those involved, we will not speculate regarding the cause of the accident. They also said our highest priority is the care and support of our passengers, our pilot, and their families. Federal investigators are now looking into the crash. The Coast Guard also helped out here as well with the rescue. So scary. We have the video up on My Northwest. We're going to have it up in just seconds. I actually went in onto Google Maps and kind of traced the path of the flight as well and really broke that down. So check that out. But thankfully, all 11 people on board that plane are okay.
Luke Ducey reporting live. It's 7:06.
An Alaska Airlines flight from Oakland to Seattle safely landed in Eugene yesterday after the crew reported engine trouble. The Boeing 737-800 was carrying 161 passengers and 6 crew. Air traffic control audio indicates pilots reported low oil pressure, shut down the affected engine, and diverted to Eugene. No injuries reported.
A tow truck driver who allegedly decided to relieve himself along I-5 in North Portland 2 years ago is being sued. $3.2 million along with his employer.
3 motorcyclists crashed into the vehicle the driver was supposed to tow. One of them tells OregonLive.com that vehicle rolled backwards into traffic because the tow truck driver put it in neutral, then stepped away to answer nature's call. The co-owner of the towing service says he thinks the vehicle was already in neutral when the tow truck driver got there, and that he hadn't heard anything about his driver urinating and doesn't think anybody would do that along such a busy freeway. According to Oregon Live, the suit seeks damages for injuries suffered by one of the motorcyclists, which he says have hindered his ability to work. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
keeping you informed since 1974. This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
How did I know this would get Sully going?
Yeah, I think Nick does that on purpose. You just like to see Sully do that, right?
I was just thinking of Sully for this song, and I wanted to see him go crazy.
He's even belting it out, which doesn't happen very often.
Shipping Queen is such a good tune.
This has been Sully's #1 Spotify song.
Yeah,
there's
and it's a live version of this.
Yeah, you
from
got
1975.
All right, the peak of their popularity.
Name the group.
Mountain.
Just Mountain.
David knows that because it was on a video game we played back in the day called Guitar Hero.
One of the ugliest dudes you'll ever see lead singer, but boy, he can throw down with the guitar.
We always played
good
rock
stuff.
band. I was the drummer in rock band.
That was a fun game, too.
Good tune.
Can you tell it's Friday?
Yeah.
And we're feeling the Friday
We
vibes.
are.
It's the 24th of July.
We have a busy hour in front of us. You have something coming up, Manda.
Yeah, you've heard the music of Alicia Keys. Now it comes to life on stage. We chat with 2 cast members of Hell's Kitchen about the show that's more than 10 years in the making.
Plus, in today's commentary, the Beatles walked away on top. So did Seinfeld. Why I think a certain raccoon should do the same. The 7:35 commentary is on the way.
It's 7:09. A Tacoma assault investigation has now become a homicide case, as we hear from KIRO News Radio's Katrina Gashar.
Tacoma police say the victim, who was struck by a vehicle on East 75th Street on Monday, has died from his injuries. Officers found the man critically hurt and began life-saving efforts before he was taken to the hospital. The suspect remained at the scene, was arrested, and initially booked for first-degree assault. Detectives are now working with the Pierce County Prosecutor's Office to determine updated charges. Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Seattle police have few details after a body was found in a wooded area off 35th Avenue Northeast and 33rd Place Northeast around 2:30 yesterday afternoon. Police say the body appears to have been there for a while, and the medical examiner is examining the remains to determine whether there's any trauma or foul play and to confirm the victim's identity. Here's SPD's Brian Pritchard.
As soon as they make that identification, they will release that information.
Pritchard says the information will be released after the next of kin are notified.
Seattle leaders say a targeted shooting that wounded 3 women overnight Wednesday night shows Aurora's violence demands more than temporary fixes. Council members Deborah Juarez and Bob Kettle say women continue to be targeted and are calling for a stronger, round-the-clock response to crime and sex trafficking in the corridor. Police say a gunman fired more than 20 shots into a truck just after midnight near Aurora Avenue and North 96th Street. The 3 women drove themselves to the hospital. One suffered multiple gunshot wounds, the other 2 hurt by shattered glass.
The fast-growing Modrite fire has grown to more than 9,000 acres.
No containment here. The Washington National Guard shared new video showing the flyover process. The Guard is using a helicopter to scoop water from Lake Roosevelt. Crews say they focused on strengthening fire lines ahead of what could be red flag conditions.
That was KIRO 7 TV's L. Thomas.
And the Grant County Sheriff's Office says 7 homes have been destroyed by the fast-moving railroad fire. That's burning about 10 miles south of I-90 at Vantage along the Columbia River. Level 3 go-now evacuations are in effect for the towns of Beverly and Schwana, home to about 500 people combined. State firefighting resources are mobilized and evacuation shelter is going up the high school in Mattawa.
Seattle Fire Department wants to add drones to its emergency response fleet, but first it needs the City Council to sign off under Seattle's Surveillance Technology Ordinance. The department says the drones would only live stream scenes to fire personnel with no recording or outside access. Public meetings on the plan run through early August. The next one is a Zoom meeting, which starts today at 11. We'll be putting a link to it with this story on mynorthwest.com.
Norway's soccer federation is weighing a formal complaint to FIFA ethics investigators over President Trump's intervention on behalf of U.S. striker Folarin Balogun. Trump called FIFA's president to get Balogun's red card suspension lifted for a World Cup quarterfinal match against Belgium here in Seattle.
They made the right decision because, number one, it wasn't a foul, and you want to see a game with your best players.
The one-game ban for Balogun's red card tackle against Bosnia-Herzegovina was deferred, and he did play in the next match against Belgium. The U.S. lost 4-1.
Assistant hitting coach Bobby Magianos has been fired by the Mariners. Seattle's offense is the worst in baseball at the moment. Here's Mariners insider Shannon Dreyer on our sister station, Seattle Sports 710.
The Mariners have had just an absolute struggle against just about any kind of pitching, particularly left-handed. But when you look at the overall numbers, dead dead last in average and slugging in baseball, and maybe even more alarmingly, dead last in average and slugging against the fastball. They're in a bad place with that.
Hitting coach Kevin Sizer will remain on staff along with franchise icon Edgar Martinez.
Just one of the things we'll chat with Rick Riz about coming up in just about an hour.
It's 7:12, and let's get a check on the weather. Nick Allard has a morning off. We're looking for highs in the low to mid 80s in Seattle today. 83 the forecast high. Morning clouds giving way to afternoon sunshine. Tomorrow, maybe a couple showers, 74 the forecast. Same deal for Sunday. Not a complete washout, but something to be aware of if you have outdoor plans. On Monday, we rebound, partly sunny, 77, 76 for our high on Tuesday. Right now in Seattle, it's 61.
And it's 7:13. Time once again to get back to Chris Sullivan for a check on traffic.
Yeah, we really are doing quite well out there. Just a little bit of red on the map here and there. The worst of it, certainly for those of you on I-5, and you've gotten used to this with the loss of the express lanes in the morning. We are bumper to bumper from about 130th past that forced merge in Northgate, and then just kind of under the speed limit the rest of the way down to the 520 interchange. Give yourself 45 minutes from Everett to Seattle. About 40 from Everett to Bellevue. The brake lights past Canyon Park are not as bad as they could be, though you do have some braking certainly for about 195th and Beardsley past 522. Northbound I-5, nice and easy. Olympia to Tacoma all the way up till you get to about the West Seattle Bridge. All in all, we're in a really good spot there. Overall, about 35 minutes or less to Tacoma, and then another 35 to 40 from Federal Way to Seattle, so not too bad there. Valley Freeway, under 40. The Renton to Bellevue Drive, just some braking through the S-curves, up to about 44th, but by most days' standards, under what you probably expected. Only 20 minutes to get you to Bellevue. Across the lake, we're doing really well. No problems on either bridge. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime.
Seattle's morning news, wherever you are.
The Tony and Grammy award-winning musical Hell's Kitchen. It's the hit Broadway show from 17-time Grammy winner Alicia Keys is here in Seattle this week at the Paramount Theater. Two stars of the national tour are with us right now. Kennedy Coggle, right?
Yes.
Who plays Jersey, and Desmond Sean Ellington, who plays Davis.
Yes.
So glad to have you both here.
Thank you. It's so nice to be here.
Question number one. Yes. I've seen the show. Was I supposed to cry?
I hope so.
Yes, the short answer is
my
yes.
goodness.
Doesn't it pull at your heartstrings?
What a range of emotions.
Yeah.
I cried, I laughed, I sang, I clapped. You both have incredible, stunning voices.
Thank you.
I was blown away. So for those who haven't seen the show, just give us a little snapshot. This is based loosely on the life of Alicia Keys, right?
Loosely based. It just shows like a glimpse of a summer in the 90s. So this is a period piece, which is interesting to talk about the 90s.
I know, isn't that funny? Yeah, I feel old.
But it follows our young protagonist, Allie, as she is discovering who she is and what she has to bring to this world. And you meet her community and her family. And, drama ensues, laughter ensues, exciting dancing ensues, and all with the sound bed of the songs of Alicia Keys.
Kennedy, your resume is ridiculous. You've played Elphaba in Wicked.
Yes,
You've
I
been
have.
Elsa in Frozen,
Yes.
and on and on. What drew you to this character?
Honestly, this is my first time playing a mom. Really, to a teenager.
Are you a mom?
I am not a mom. The closest I come is I'm an aunt to a beautiful niece and nephew, and I am a dog mom. But I can say, pretending to be a mom for 2.5 hours to a teenager is the hardest job in the world. I can't imagine how y'all do it.
It's kind of hard.
It is, it's thankless. Like even a pretend mom is thankless. It's a thankless job.
Yes.
And it just,
but rewarding too.
Very rewarding, and really like embodying this character. It just makes me want to hug my mom tighter.
Good.
And like we said
You've said
previous,
you wanted to dedicate this performance to your mom, right?
Absolutely. She's the reason I'm here. Like she's the reason I'm here. Two, she saw something in me and stewarded my gift before I knew what I had. And she never forced me into this life of being an actor. She was always like, if you enjoy it, if you want to do it, you can. And she would encourage me to go for it and supported me throughout the ups and downs of this crazy business. And she's my number one and first and number one fan always. And I really just owe so much to her. And I hope I wasn't I hope I wasn't as cheeky as Allie is to Jersey in the show.
I love to hear that. Hopefully someday my 15-year-old will say the same thing you're saying right now.
Yeah.
Desmond, tell me about Davis.
Yeah, Davis is Allie's absentee father, who is he's a musician. So she gets it naturally.
Yes, he is.
It's talked about in the show as well. And he's out living or chasing his dreams, and not really his priorities. He's not taking care of home, and we know this story. We've seen this played out, and we get to see the effect of Allie's father not being in her life, and we get to see, and we've either felt it personally or seen the effect of an absent parent and what that does to a child, and it makes them seek what they don't have. And you'll see Allie seeking things in the show because of the absence, of her father. And then when he does come, then there's this like spark of hope, and like maybe this will be the time that we can, be a family and be together. And then it's like, oh, but maybe not. So it's like real life, real life. I tell people, like, this is not a fairy tale.
Right.
It's not a, and happily ever after, because that's not life, unfortunately. But it just shows love in different aspects. Single mom, absentee, the mentor, just these different aspects of love that surround Allie, and this, and how she fits in all of that.
Alicia Keys is so supremely talented.
Yes.
Ridiculous.
Oh, ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
What I really loved was hearing the rearrangements of her music, but she also wrote new music for the show.
Yeah.
She did.
So what's it like to sing original Alicia Keys music?
So much fun. I mean, I get to sing one of the songs that she wrote specifically for the show, 17, where Jersey kind of gets to rap. Which is really, really
Was that
fun.
a new experience for you?
I have rapped in a few new musicals that have not made it to this stage. Oh, good. Oh, good. Yes, but it was because Alicia has a very specific cadence and way that she wants her raps sung and said. And so that was a really cool experience to have her around in tech and have her pull you aside and kind of sing her songs at you, kind of giving you like notes in a very beautiful way. And all the notes really resonated with me that she would bring. So it was really fun to get to work closely with her, forging this.
And she was very involved, I'm assuming?
Oh, yes. Total
And was that
hands-on.
intimidating or awesome?
It was awesome.
Both.
It was awesome. Yeah. Oh, it was
like beautifully both. But intimidating because, she's so grounded and she's so lovely and she's so warm and she's so kind. But at the same time, you're like, but you shaped the sound of a generation. Like everybody remembers hearing Alicia Keys on the radio.
Yeah. And before the show debuted on Broadway, it was 13 years in development that she had been working.
Isn't that amazing? I can't even imagine working on something that long and watching it come to fruition.
And watching it come into fruition. And not only that so much of that is in us, and it's so inspiring to see that she, created this thing and she stayed with it. 13 years, I'm sure there were plenty of roadblocks, and she could have said, you know what? I'm a global superstar. I don't have to do this.
Right.
And
that's not Alicia Keys.
That's not Alicia Keys.
No, she worked so hard.
She worked so hard and she brought this into fruition, I was able to make my Broadway debut. We were able to, you know what I mean? So I say that to say that the gifts and things that we have and the dreams that we have inside of us are tied to other people's destinies.
Before I let you guys go, because we're almost out of time.
Sure.
How on earth are you doing this? Because shout out to a debut album in the middle of all this too, really?
Oh, girl, I don't know if I would recommend anyone doing an album at the same time as they're putting up a show and touring.
Recording on tour.
I'm a special brand of crazy, but it kind of like this is the timing of it. And when I was creating the album, I booked this job, and so everything was kind of like, we got to figure it out. So yeah, my album's coming out on Friday.
Congratulations!
So thank you very much. It's a labor of love, and it's so wonderful to be. I feel like I'm in good company with artists of our own right and with Alicia Keys at the helm. It's like, you really can do so much more than you think.
Awesome. I really enjoyed chatting with both of you.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Enjoy your time in Seattle.
Thank you.
It's Hell's Kitchen. It's at the Paramount through Sunday. You can get your tickets at stgpresents.org. That girl is on fire.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, she's so talented. This was a really cool experience because usually they do the media tour before the show starts. This time I got to see the show first and then talk to the cast members. This show is stunning.
Manda, you came in the next day and you were smiling, you were singing. I was like, why is Manda singing? Manda was very, very happy at that show. You can tell you really enjoyed it.
I've seen a lot of musicals, but this one really hit me. And I think it's probably because I'm mom to a teenager.
Okay.
And the teenager in the show hates mom. And you know how that goes. I know someday it'll be great again. But yeah, it was a good show. It only runs through Sunday. So if you want to see it, check it out at the Paramount.
Okay, sounds good. Let's check traffic now. Every 10 minutes, here's Chris Sullivan.
And I could use a little help from my KIRO drivers who are heading up a 99 northbound from, say, Georgetown up towards the West Seattle Bridge. We are super slow on northbound 99 there, East Marginal Way, from about the First Avenue South Bridge up to about Diagonal Avenue. I'm not sure if there's something wrong with the signal. They're just moving some stuff through. But either way, you're going to be losing a couple of minutes heading northbound there on East Marginal Way, heading into Soto from the Georgetown area. So just keep that in mind. Looking at the I-5 corridor there, it is wide open until you get up to about the same area, kind of around the north end of Boeing Field. But only 42 minutes to go from Federal Way to Seattle. That is fabulous. About 40 from Puyallup up to Renton. We're seeing a little bit of braking getting into Kent, a little bit at the north end. Really, from 180th on in is going to be the heaviest spot in that entire drive. And then Renton to Bellevue, a little over 20 minutes, but not by much, more yellow than red on the map there. Olympia to Tacoma, a nice easy drive for you guys. 16 and 18 look good. Coming down from the north end, 40 minutes from Everett to Bellevue. Brake lights there kind of intensifying a little bit through the construction zone and the merging at Canyon Park. And for I-5, it's a really good drive all the way to about 130th. Right there at the bottom part of the Jackson Park Golf Course. And then you hit the brake lights down to about Lake City Way, but after that, not too bad. Give yourself 45 minutes from Everett to Seattle. This report brought to you by Home Comfort Alliance. AC not working? Well, don't assume the worst. Home Comfort Alliance repairs first, only replaces if needed. Get a real pricing quote in 60 seconds. HomeComfortAlliance.com.
And our forecast as you get ready for the weekend, it's going to be beautiful today. Sunny, 83, at least partly sunny. For the weekend, mid-70s with a few showers a possibility both days. But Monday, back to partly sunny skies, back into the upper 70s Monday. And it looks like that will stick through at least Thursday. Right now it's 64 in Seattle.
Much more to come on Seattle's Morning News. We will have the day's top headlines.
A high-risk sex offender being unconditionally released in King County, and the community is outraged. KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey will have more.
Plus, 1 week ago, we introduced you to a certain raccoon. Today, I'm asking him to go home for his own good. That's the 7:35 commentary.
This is Seattle's Morning News.
This hour is brought to you by CM Heating.
Dear Ursula, I have a group of friends who have bonded over...
Hi, I'm Ursula Voitin from the G and Ursula Show, and I'm launching a new podcast called Ask Ursula. This is your space. Real life, real questions, whether it's about family, friendships, love, and yes, even the fun stuff like travel and finding your signature scent. Hit me up and ask your questions at mynorthwest.com/Ursula. I look forward to connecting with you.
At mynorthwest.com and the G and Ursula YouTube channel.
Here's the deal. The government is over $38 trillion in debt, which means the IRS isn't slowing down. And the tax code is complex and unforgiving. So it's not surprising if you're one of the millions of Americans that owe back taxes to the IRS. Unfortunately, they're the world's most powerful collection agency, with the ability to garnish your wages, seize your bank accounts, and even take your home or business. But don't be stressed or worried any longer. We're Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. We have resolved over $3 billion in tax debt for our clients. Our award-winning professionals deal with the IRS every single day, protecting our clients and preparing them for the best possible resolution. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, give Optima a call today.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The Boeing Classic welcomes the world's greatest golf legends to the Pacific Northwest, August 14th through the 16th at the club at Snoqualmie Ridge. Watch Masters champions and Golf Hall of Famers compete for a $2.3 million purse at the only PGA Tour champion stop in the region. Bring the whole family and make sure to check out the Seahawks Village, packed with fun for all ages. Tickets start at just $20 and kids get in free. Visit BoeingClassic.com to get yours today.
I'm spending my summer in a new Subaru Forester Touring Hybrid from Carter Subaru, and yes, I am officially spoiled. It is so comfortable, and as my first hybrid, the timing couldn't be better with the high gas prices. And for a limited time, you can also get a 2026 Subaru Crosstrek starting at 1.9% APR. Carter Subaru in Ballard, Shoreline, or cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized cost. See dealer for details. Valid through 7/31/26.
Les Schwab Tires has always believed that taking care of people is the right thing to do. Today, that means more than trusted service. It means delivering real value, too. That's why we're lowering prices on hundreds of tires without changing the service and expertise you've always counted on. Consumer Reports named Les Schwab the best tire retailer for 2026. We'll keep working every day to earn your trust. See leschwab.com for details.
I like it hot.
Beg your pardon?
Can you make it hot for me, Dan?
I think so.
Half heated ain't hot enough.
No.
That's why I called you.
Apollo Plumbing.
Yeah, my sorry old water heater.
Oh.
Ain't getting me the hots anymore.
You want hot water.
That's what I said.
That's what we do at Apollo Plumbing.
And you're ready?
Right now.
When can you?
How about today?
Same day?
We'll have you in hot water tonight.
Clever. How about an upgrade?
A tankless water heater would mean endless hot water.
Now you're cooking.
That's just for starters.
Starters?
How about we make it a worry-free water heater?
Worry-free?
Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Which covers?
Repairs, service, all included.
And when it wears out?
Apollo replaces it.
No extra charge?
Nothing.
Nil?
Nada. As an Apollo A-List member, you're covered.
And payments?
To fit your budget with approved credit, of course.
And I'm hot again.
Worry-free.
That's for me.
We're on our way.
Thanks for making it hot.
We're ApolloPlumbing.com.
How would you like to invest in the Seattle real estate market, one of the hottest and most stable regions in the country, and achieve a great rate of return on your investment without the effort of sourcing a deal, the expense and time of building permits, or all the hassles that come with being a landlord? Hi, I'm Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Invest in the stability and ease of Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund. Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Did you know that 4,000 women are diagnosed with breast cancer every year in Washington state? I'm Dr. Suzette Miranda with Northwest Hope and Healing. We provide financial support for breast and gynecologic cancer patients in our community. Join us at Life in Color, a summer brunch, auction, and fashion show on August 23rd at the Somme Hotel in Woodinville for an unforgettable afternoon of inspiration. Get your tickets now for Life in Color on August 23rd at nwhopeandhealing.org. That's nwhopeandhealing.org.
This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Our summertime savings event means zero down, zero payments, and zero interest for up to 24 months, backed by our unbeatable warranties. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It's 7:31. The King County Sheriff's Office is defending the handling of a convicted sex offender's release into an Enumclaw area neighborhood after angry residents packed a virtual town hall.
KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey has more.
Yeah, the offender, Robert Lowe, was convicted of first-degree rape and attempted murder in the 1990s and had been held at the Special Commitment Center on McNeil Island as a sexually violent predator. But this is also a moment here, this story, for anyone concerned about any sex offenders living near them. It's easy to look up how many live in your area around you on King County's website. I looked up this morning and found there are 9 registered sex offenders within a mile of my house. There are 2 within a block of our studio right here. Detective Chris Knudsen told that large virtual crowd of concerned residents, psychologists hired by the state, and defense attorneys concluded Lowe was no longer meeting the legal standard to remain committed, so a judge ordered his unconditional release. Neighbors had a long list of questions, including what's the plan to keep the neighborhood safe? Here's Knudsen.
That's what community notification is intended to achieve. Beyond that, beyond making sure that he's compliant with his registration requirements, it's so that community members can be aware of who's in the neighborhood and take appropriate steps.
They also wanted to know if deputies would want this person living next to them.
It wouldn't be my choice to have him living next to my family, but ultimately, we don't really get choices in who our neighbors are for the most part.
And also, finally, what consequences will there be for the sheriff's office or anybody else if there is an offense again?
So I know it's hard to hear, but we don't have any authority to restrict where he lives or where he works or goes to school or, the community that he's in. We do everything that we can within our legal authority to keep the community safe.
The sheriff's office classified Lowe as a level 3 or high-risk offender, I should say. The Department of Corrections determined he does not qualify for supervision. GPS and movement restrictions also do not apply under an unconditional court-ordered release. Charlie, Manda.
Luke Ducey reporting live.
A Kenmore air float plane carrying 11 people crashed near Susha Island last night. Everyone on board survived.
KIRO 7's Eric Thomas is in Bellingham, where 2 patients are in the hospital.
More than half a dozen different agencies successfully responded.
Police boats are the ones from the Sheriff's Department out. Helicopters as necessary from Airlift Northwest and Coast Guard help on the surface.
Man says boaters who witnessed the crash also jumped into action.
Oh my gosh.
Meanwhile, the NTSB who's taken over the scene won't rule anything out. They'll take the next 3 to 5 days to conduct their investigation here before eventually releasing their findings.
7:33, that's time for a check on traffic. Now, we do that every 10 minutes. Chris Sullivan, what's happening?
Well, we're getting closer to 45 minutes for both of our drives from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. For I-5, the brake lights, you're going to hit them right around 130th there past the forced merge. But after that, it does kind of loosen up as you get into downtown. So that's not terrible by most days' standards and what we've experienced the last couple of days. It's a pretty good drive. For 405, up to 45 minutes now, just kind of the meandering braking getting into and through the Canyon Park area down through 522, kind of intensifying there as we're adding a few more customers to our drive. Coming the other direction, Olympia to Tacoma is nice and easy, 35 minutes or less. Under 40 from Federal Way to Seattle, which is a great drive. Renton to Bellevue, about 25 minutes now. The Valley Freeway, a little over 40, but not by much, depending on how you hit the volume there from 180th on in. The Lake Bridges are still in quiet shape, and whatever we're dealing with on northbound 99, East Marginal Way, up from the 1st Avenue South Bridge, it seems to have taken care of itself, but it's been pretty slow there in the northbound direction, getting up to the West Seattle Bridge. This report brought to you by Bucky's Complete Auto Care. For 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repairs earn local trust with honest pricing, guaranteed repairs. That's why they're Carfax preferred. No gimmicks, just great service. Bucky's.com.
Nice day weather-wise as you get ready for the weekend. It will be partly sunny and 83 for today. For tomorrow and Sunday, look for a chance of scattered showers. Both days will be in the low to mid-70s. Then Monday, back to partly sunny skies, upper 70s. So far, Monday through Thursday look terrific. Lots of sunshine. Highs pushing 80 by Thursday. Right now in Seattle, starting to see a little bit of sunshine. It's 63.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
It's time for the 7:35 commentary. Jimothy is a sensation. 1 week ago this morning, we first brought you the story of this goofy raccoon. Every day since, the Jimothy content has multiplied. By Monday, Jon Stewart was talking about him on The Daily Show.
But I'll tell you what I think Jimothy is. A short king.
By Tuesday, there were Jimothy bobbleheads. Wednesday, Jimothy made the Roku screensaver. Yesterday, the White House posted a picture of Jimothy in a red hat headed to Washington, D.C. I think that one was AI. Go to Google right now and type in Jimothy, and an animation of the furball traipses across your screen. By next week, maybe, Alaska Airlines replaces the guy on the plane tail with Jimothy. Peak Jimothy content. And it needs to stop. Wouldn't it be fun to just let him go out on top? Years from now, we look back on the summer of 2026 with a fond memory. Hey, remember that crazy-looking raccoon? What was his name? Timothy? Jimmy? Oh, Jimothy. That's right. because we know where this is headed. Jimothy is about to jump the shark. Maybe this weekend, maybe next month. But at some point, there'll be one post too many. We'll get bored. Or worse, Jimothy will disappoint us. One day, he's the strange-looking young raccoon everybody adores. The next, he's a middle-aged raccoon with a bad back. He refuses to go to physical therapy. He owes his ex-wife child support. The kids say he's distant. They can't connect. He tells himself that gummies every night are just to help him sleep. Why can't he sleep? He starts a podcast. It gets 11 downloads. He gets an unfortunate tattoo on his chest. There go his dreams of running for the Senate. He's at a strip mall in Federal Way, signing autographs at a mattress store grand opening. Nobody's in line. He hasn't paid his credit card bill in months. They want their money. The collection agency calls go unanswered. He's not answering any calls at that number. Why do they keep calling? He's got a burner phone for his side raccoon anyway. His FICO score is shot. He forgets his mother's birthday. His car is broken down again, and his landlord says he can't just keep that piece of junk parked there. He asks his agent why the bobblehead money dried up. His agent stopped returning his calls in October. And then late one night, down at the pond, washing those little paws, he takes a long look at his reflection in the moonlight. He doesn't recognize the raccoon staring back. He doesn't like what he sees, what he's become. He didn't ask for any of this. A week ago, Jimothy was a raccoon. That's it. He was eating garbage and climbing fences and doing whatever raccoons do at 2 a.m. He had a life. It wasn't glamorous, but it was honest work. We took a perfectly happy raccoon and we gave him a brand deal and an agent and an anxiety disorder. Every click, every share, every OMG Jimothy in a group chat was another step toward that pond. We built the pedestal. Jimothy is hunched atop right now. We'll be the ones to knock it over. That's what we do. We find something pure and we love it so hard we ruin it. Then we make a 6-part Netflix documentary about how fame destroyed him. It doesn't have to be that way. The greats knew when to walk away. The Beatles were the biggest band in the world when they split. Seinfeld left at number 1. Barry Sanders retired with the rushing record in sight. Jimothy deserves the same grace. Go home, Jimothy. The dumpster's waiting. And that's the 7:35 commentary for Friday. I almost made it. Friday, July 24th, 2026. You can text your thoughts to the Buckle-Shoot Casino and Resort. Text line 888-973-5476.
Do you need me to finish?
Yeah. You can join the chat, YouTube Live at KIRO Newsradio, or leave a comment at mynorthwest.com.
Getting choked up thinking of Jimothy's downward spiral.
Yeah,
really.
it's pretty heartbreaking.
It's a hot Jimothy summer.
Yeah.
Hot Jimothy.
I'm pretty sure for half of that commentary you were writing yesterday, you're just thinking of your own life. Yeah. Now, how much of this were you talking about? Going to the mattress store, no pocket. It's
prophetic, really.
This is Charlie Harger in 5 years. Jeez, wow.
Bad back, refusing to go to physical therapy. That just came out of thin air.
That's a little bit of me right there. Wow, geez, what are you doing right now? This is a little self-introspection. Stop laying this on Jimothy.
May I say long live Jimothy?
Yes,
Thank
you may.
I've got a meme I'm putting together right now that's going on X here soon at News Guy Sully.
Before you do that, tell us what's coming up in traffic.
I don't even know. I'm too busy making fun of Charlie on X.
Okay.
We're going to look at the drive on southbound I-5 as you work your way into the Northgate area. We'll talk about it next.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877 Cars for Kids to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now or call 877 Cars for Kids to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
Washington drivers share the road with thousands of semi-trucks, but new reporting and federal investigations have unveiled that as many as 1 in 5 of those trucks are operated by chameleon carriers, trucking companies that rack up crashes and safety violations only to close and reopen under a new name with a clean record. If you've been injured in a trucking accident, time may be running out to recover. Call Davis Law Group today at 206-888-8888 or visit davislawgroupseattle.com.
This summer, I'm driving my first hybrid, the 2026 Subaru Forester Touring Hybrid, which I got at Carter Subaru. It's a beauty and has excellent safety features. Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealership with over 800 in stock, including the 2026 Subaru Outback for 0.9% APR. Carter Subaru in Ballard, Shoreline, or cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized cost. See dealer for details. Valid through 7/31/26.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
7:43 now. We check traffic on the 3s with Chris Sullivan.
And you will find no hate for Jimothy at the KIRO traffic desk. Looking at the drive out of the north end, you're doing well for a Friday. I mean, the brake lights are right where they should be, but they're not as bad as you've experienced the last couple of days of this week with Revive I-5. Again, this is the end of week 2 of the return after the soccer tournament, so we've got that drive really heavy now from about 145th on down past the Forest Merge all the way down to Lake City Way. So we're about 50, maybe a little bit more minutes to go from Everett to Seattle, with more than 30 of that away from Linwood. We're about 45 from Everett down into Bellevue, with definitely some materializing braking through Canyon Park down through 522, but after that, it's not bad. Federal Way to Seattle, pretty decent. I mean, there's some brake lights down towards 405 in the South Center, but really it's from the north end of Boeing Field past the West Seattle Bridge. Overall, 45 minutes to make the drive there. That's pretty good. Olympia to Tacoma, no problems for you guys. Puyallup to Renton's about 42 minutes. Not quite 25 from Renton to Bellevue. Actually pretty quiet up that corridor once you get out of the S-curves. And the lake bridges are good. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
And our forecast, partly sunny for today. We'll be in the low 80s for the weekend. You might see a few showers here and there, but nothing too threatening. A mix of clouds and sun, and mid-70s for Monday. Back to upper 70s with lots of sunshine for next week, at least through Thursday. Right now in Seattle, it is partly sunny and 63.
Coming up, G. Scott stops by. Seahawks are beginning training camp. What can we expect from the team? We'll ask G coming up next on Seattle's Morning News.
Remember when you didn't think about energy? You just woke up and you had it? Well, now we're talking midday crash, the sleepless nights, the moments where you catch yourself thinking, what the heck happened to me? Well, here's the thing. Nothing's wrong with you. Your hormones just stopped holding up their end of the deal. At Juvacor Health and Wellness Center, hormone replacement therapy isn't a guessing game. It starts with a real sit-down conversation with a female provider who has heard your story before, because she hears it every single day. I'm talking about Dr. Lucy Hostetter. You're going to love her. She's a board-certified physician. She has spent 7 years doing one thing exceptionally well. That is helping women feel like themselves again. Your treatment is built around your labs, your symptoms, and your life, and the follow-up is real, because feeling better shouldn't be a one-appointment promise. Now they have 2 convenient locations, Tacoma and Bellevue. They expanded from their flagship home at Seattle Regenerative Medicine Center. Great care is now closer than ever. Stop Googling your symptoms at 2 o'clock in the morning. Start a conversation with someone who actually has real answers. JuvaCoreHealth.com. That's JUVE CoreHealth.com. Feel like yourself again.
Hi, I'm Marla at Sky Nursery with a heads up that gardening in July has its challenges. Seattle summer drought can cause plants to droop in just a matter of hours, and rabbits and aphids can get a little out of hand in your garden, especially if you have any travel plans this summer. That's where an experienced Sky gardener can make a difference with down-to-earth and sustainable solutions to all manner of gardening quagmires. After all, you deserve to enjoy a beautiful, thriving summer garden without having to learn the hard way first. We can help. Head to skynursery.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all. Sound like your home? Then call for your free inspection.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
Holy smokes! The On Cruise Adventures Rick Riz Show.
What happened at the ballpark yesterday?
Sparky's sitting on my scorpic here, my cat.
Friday mornings at 8:15 on Seattle's Morning News. Well, Seattle's Morning News. Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime on mynorthwest.com.
Here he is from the G and Ursula Show, 9 to noon every weekday on KIRO Newsradio. G. Scott, good morning.
Hey, good morning, y'all.
Look at that big old smile on your face.
Come on now. Hey, look here, before I talk about the 3 things that you need to be excited about, because training camp, Seahawks training camp is going to get started tomorrow. I'm going to give you 3 things you need to be excited about. But first,
what are you excited about?
It's Christmas today. As soon as I'm done with the G and Ursula Show, I'm going to go get on an airplane, fly down to Phoenix. My daughter is going to drop my granddaughter off at the airport, hand off right then.
That's
and
awesome.
I'm going to jump back on the plane, and we're going to head here to Seattle.
And make some memories.
I got the room already set. I got all the clothes and stuff ready to go. Oh, man.
Good job, Grandpa.
I'm super excited. Yeah, and I got her snacks, too. Yeah, I got the snacks.
I love it.
All right. So Seahawks training camp is tomorrow.
So excited.
So many things that are happening. First, it's the Super Bowl champion. They're coming back, right? And I just want to give you guys a little bit of kind of bad news right now.
Way to break me down. Thanks.
The bad news is, as you all know, all of 2026, Seattle has been on display to the world. They won a Super Bowl, right? The World Cup was here. Now HBO's Hard Knocks is going to be here. So that means the whole world is about to just see Seattle. They're going to see these players. They're going to see Manda, the fans on the berm. They're going to be seeing them practice on the shores of Lake Washington. The world's going to see this. I know when you go out of town and people says, "Oh, you're from Seattle, Washington? Wait, that's in D.C.? No, it's in Washington State. Oh, yeah, Seattle. It rains there all the time." And we say, yes, it does rain all the time. They are about to find out the secret, y'all. They are going to see some beautiful things. So that's the bad news that I have for you, that the world is on notice about what's going on here.
It's ridiculous. I mean, what a place to play football, right?
Right.
Gorgeous.
There's going to be some little kid in North Dakota that's going to see those practices when they're out there on the shores of Lake Washington like, "Ma, that's where I want to move to." Year 3 for Mike McDonald comes up. Arguably, it might be, I think we're going to find out that he might be the best coach in the NFL. The genius, the brilliance, that defense, incredible, amazing. We get to see year 3. You can think about it. Year 1 and year 2, he was trying to figure things out. And year 2, he wins the Super Bowl. So now he's coming into, there's an established culture there. It's going to be on. Number 2, he's the best in the world. Number 11, Jackson Smith and Jigba.
I thought you weren't calling him that anymore. You're calling him the standard.
Did
you change your mind?
I changed my mind. Yeah, I told him.
Then give me a real. I'm going. The best
I'm going back to it. And look, he's the reigning offensive player of the year. We get to see him out there. We get to see him again. Just think, Seahawks, we have the best wide receiver in the world happening right now. And number 3 is what's going to be happening. We're going to see this defense. Like, this defense is going to be incredible. There is no weakness on this defense. Just looking forward to at some point, hopefully Devin Witherspoon gets his little contract and gets rolling on it. I mean, it won't be little, but gets a contract. And I just think those are the three things that you get to be excited about. Mike McDonald, JSN, and this amazing defense.
I'm bringing my daughter Tuesday to training camp. And
Oh,
she's
yeah.
so excited. She goes every year, but she didn't really remember when she was smaller.
Yeah.
First thing she said to me is, "Can I meet JSN?" She has a thing for him.
Oh, well, yeah. a lot of people do.
I said, "No, probably not, honey, but you can meet G maybe."
Oh, man. Oh, thanks. Charlie, what you got, man? I heard you having fun today. What you got?
What is it like at training camp? If you haven't been, can you just kind of set the stage?
Well, it's the opposite of what you think a practice would be, right? Just the whole setting. It's beautiful out there. And there's something about it. I mean, it's not really normal to watch a practice next to water. You know what I mean? And so to see that. And then you got that. The scenery is beautiful.
Music
you
is
have
blasting.
you have the music, the DJs playing the music is blasting. And then more importantly, the coolest part is when you see the guys out there on the field, they are having as much fun as the fans. Like, you know, I know Amanda and her daughter are looking forward to going to training camp. Just so you guys know, these players look forward to the fans being there too. So, I mean, it's like if you're going to practice, might as well have some fun and have a party. So that's what training camp is like. It is the ultimate party, but they're doing some work at the same time. It's like SMN every morning, right?
Oh, totally.
Right? You guys are partying, but it's some work.
Is that what we're doing?
You're talking Jimothy. I heard you talking Jimothy today.
Jimothy was having a midlife crisis on the show a little bit earlier, but
Yeah.
I think he'll be okay.
If you missed Charlie's commentary, check out mynorthwest.com.
Got to.
It's entertaining.
Well, am I getting kicked out early today or what?
Yeah, probably. It's on time.
It's on time? All right. David, you got a nice shirt that you got today, brother.
That's my favorite
man.
shirt of his. Isn't that great?
Yes, it is.
It's my summertime shirt. It's got the tin fish on it. It's got all the good
Some
stuff.
flowers.
So, yeah, got to
Very
break
nice.
it out, especially for summer.
All right, G, enjoy picking up your granddaughter.
Hey, appreciate it. And then she'll be here on Monday.
Can't wait
I'm
to
bringing
meet
her to work on
That's
Monday.
great.
All right, see you guys.
G and Ursula, 9 to noon here on KIRO News Radio. Chris Sullivan, you have traffic.
And it is Friday light across the board with a couple of exceptions, and they're ones that you should have expected, for especially if you do this every day or a couple days a week. Southbound I-5 is bumper to bumper from about 145th down past the forced merge and down to about Lake City Way. We're a little under 50 minutes now from Everett into Seattle, about 45 to 48 from Everett to Bellevue with more brake lights south of Canyon Park down through 522. We're picking up a little bit in Totem Lake as well. Northbound I-5 is certainly very manageable. From Olympia to Tacoma, not much, just a slight break up the hill to 18, primarily in that right lane. And then you've got about 45 minutes or less to go from Federal Way to Seattle. About 40 up the Valley Freeway from Puyallup to Renton. That's really good. The Renton S-curves are active as you work your way up towards the VMAC. All in all, we've got about 25 minutes to get you to Bellevue, which is pretty good. Not much action around I-90, which is positive. The lake bridges are fine. This report brought to you by Home Comfort Alliance. AC not working? Don't assume the worst. Home Comfort Alliance repairs first, only replaces if needed. Get a real pricing quote in 60 seconds. HomeComfortAlliance.com.
Seeing a few clouds this morning, but we'll be mostly sunny by afternoon and 83 for your Friday afternoon. Tomorrow and Sunday, chance of a few showers with highs in the mid-70s. Right now it's 63 in Seattle.
Coming up, KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey with details on a crash of that Kenmore Air float plane in the San Juans yesterday.
And it's the Rick Riz Show coming up at 8:15 on Seattle's Morning News.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Your coffee would never get cold. Your flight would always be on time. And your mattress would always respond to you and your unique sleep needs. Sleep Number mattresses are designed to respond to your body and shift with your changing life, helping you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number. To a good life's sleep.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
You're in charge of ordering boxes. Small boxes, big boxes, really big boxes. You're in charge of tape, labels, mailers, bubble wrap, extra bubble wrap, just for fun. You're in charge of warehouse cleaning and safety supplies. Good thing there's Uline. Thousands of quality products for your business and warehouse needs, always in stock, ready to ship same day, and backed by Uline's legendary 24/7 customer service. Uline makes it easy because you already do enough. Uline, we warehouse for you.
Look, I need to be real with you for a second. At Seattle Children's Hospital, 1 in 3 patient families cannot afford the food their kids need to heal. Think about that. A child recovering from surgery, learning to walk again, and the family is struggling to put food, nutritious food, on the table. That's why Safeway and Seahawk, Jackson Smith and Jigba are launching the Food First Project, a multi-year initiative to fight pediatric food insecurity right here in our community. This is not someday maybe talk. This is grocery cards, produce vouchers, and food as medicine programs going directly to families the moment the need is identified. No barriers, no red tape, just help right now. They're funding vitamin D screenings, nutrition support for student athletes, rehabilitation feeding tools, and meals for hundreds of families staying inpatient at the hospital. I love what Safeway and Seattle Children's are doing, making a real difference where it matters most. JSN showing up. Now it's our turn, 12s. Put food first. Learn more at Safeway.com.
Rick was experiencing some pain in his knee.
Once I retired and really just golfed constantly, I think it kind of exacerbated.
It was getting to be too much for him.
It got to the point where I just almost couldn't sleep. I wanted to try anything to avoid surgery.
So instead, he decided to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
I talked to him and he said, well, Rick, it's a new knee or we do the stem cell.
Since the procedure, Rick is back doing what he loves to do.
Here I am, golfing and enjoying it.
And now it's not just his knee. Rick has had stem cell treatment for both of his shoulders, his hip, and...
He did my thumbs.
So whether it's a hip like I had or a shoulder, knee, and thumb like Rick, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. He's the most experienced in the Northwest with over 20,000 stem cell procedures. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com.
I'm spending my summer in a new Subaru Forester Touring Hybrid from Carter Subaru, and yes, I am officially spoiled. It is so comfortable, and as my first hybrid, the timing couldn't be better with high gas prices. And for a limited time, you can also get a 2026 Subaru Crosstrek starting at 1.9% APR. Carter Subaru in Ballard, Shoreline, or cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized cost. See dealer for details. Valid through 7/31/26.
Your VA loan and reverse mortgage experts for 34 years. Best Mortgage is proud to be the longest running mortgage company on KIRO Radio. Get a no-pressure consultation from a real person, never an AI bot. Web search Best Mortgage for honest advice you can trust.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Sherry. Preston, 16-year-old Colt Gray pleaded guilty to all 55 counts in a deadly school shooting 2 years ago. He faces a minimum of life in prison, but a judge must decide if he will be eligible for parole. 2 adults and 2 students killed at Appalachia High in that shooting. Another round of tariffs coming from the White House this morning, affecting about 99% of all imported items in the U.S. and leaving many Americans wondering what their costs will be now.
If you're a company, especially a small business, they say, what are we actually paying here? What is the rate? So that's one part of this uncertainty. The other part is, does it mean that those companies that had started to kind of accept the status quo as they face higher costs, which we've talked about from the beginning, that means importers are paying more for products. Do they absorb those or do they pass them down?
ABC's Elizabeth Schulze. Drones carrying explosives targeting a city in northern Iraq where U.S. forces are stationed as the conflict flares once again. The U.S. and Iran exchanging fire for another night. This is ABC News. The district attorney in Jackson County, Mississippi, Angel Myers McElrath, is speaking out for the first time since the death of 18-year-old Nolan Wells.
She met last week with Wells's parents, who pledged to allow investigators to examine his phone, which he left behind in a boat during a July 4th trip with friends to Horn Island. Few details have been released, but the district attorney says that's by design.
The pressure for answers does not change
what the work requires. Our responsibility to Nolan and our community is to complete this investigation thoroughly, carefully, without compromise.
ABC Chief Investigative Correspondent Aaron Katursky reporting there. A slow-moving storm system bringing forecasts of multi-day flooding to the Carolinas. An inch per hour of rains possible from Charleston to Wilmington, including Myrtle Beach. Midwest Poultry Services recalling nearly 1.5 million cartons of eggs due to potential salmonella. Many of the eggs sold are at Kroger's. I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
At 8:02, here's what's happening.
Everyone on board a Kenmore Air float plane accounted for after it crashed and caught fire in the San Juan Islands. We'll get more details from Luke Ducey.
7 homes are gone as the railroad fire burns in Grant County near Vantage. About 500 people in Beverly and Schwana are now under level 3 go now evacuation orders.
Everett police need help finding a girl who vanished from Cascade High School in March. Jocelyn Mora left with a boy in a car and has not been seen since.
And the Mariners open a road series against AL West rival Texas later today.
We'll talk to Rick Riz in just about 10 minutes. It's 8:03 right now. Time for a check on traffic with Chris Sullivan.
And we're enjoying a Friday light out there. There are a couple of spots where we do have the brake lights to deal with, but they're right where they should be, and you get out of them a little faster than most days. The biggest issue is the southbound I-5 drive as you work your way through the loss of the express lanes there in Northgate. Hit the brakes right around 145th, but you're off them by the time you're down to 520. Or before that, overall, we're about 50 minutes, maybe a little under from Everett to Bellevue. About 50 as well from Everett to Seattle. It's really heavy in Canyon Park, and then kind of just under the speed limit past 522, a little braking in Totem Lake and approaching 520 as well. So better than certainly we've seen earlier this week. Federal Way to Seattle's under 45 minutes, a really light day today, so let's try to keep that going. Valley Freeway also about 40 minutes from end to end. That's really good, and we haven't reached a half an hour yet from Renton to Bellevue. The S-curves are active, but by the time you're up to 44th, it's a pretty good drive. Lake bridges are quiet. This report brought to you by the Seattle Mariners. Don't miss the biggest event of the year at T-Mobile Park. 50 Season Celebration Night, August 8th, presented by Daktronics. Get your tickets, mariners.com.
Coming up on 8:04 on the Friday, July 24th, 2026 edition of Seattle's Morning News. I'm Charlie Harger with Manda Factor.
A terrifying Kenmore Air seaplane crash near Susha Island yesterday was caught on video.
The aircraft was carrying 11 people, including the pilot. KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey is here with the latest.
Yeah, all 11 people on board survived. Let's start there. That's good news. But here's video of the crash on our YouTube feed if you're watching, captured by a boater who was watching the float plane, admiring the moment. I mean, thinking it's really cool. Look at this plane, how it's kind of turning, until he realizes the pilot was struggling to keep it in the air. The plane veers left, and you can hear the impact on the water and then a rock. This is kind of creepy. Listen to this.
Holy cow, this is so cool. I can't believe he's doing this.
Yeah, and there's the impact right there.
I hope he's okay.
He immediately went out there. He said the next line he said was, I better go out there, and he did, and so did several other boaters to help the passengers and see what they could do to help anything, really. The pilot was attempting to make an emergency landing, but investigators have not released what caused that emergency. This was a de Havilland Otter float plane, the kind you see on Lake Union, landing and taking off. And in fact, this one took off from Lake Union yesterday in Seattle. The crash happened at 5:15 in the evening in the San Juans. Several boaters rushed to the scene. Like I said, 2 passengers were taken to a hospital in Bellingham, 2 others to a hospital on Orcas Island. 1 person was in critical condition. Here's the aviation expert, John Nance, and what he told KIRO 7 TV.
What we don't know yet, and what we will know fairly soon, is was this an attempted emergency landing, and if so, what went wrong? But certainly the idea of a possibility of a landing that didn't go well is very extant.
Yeah, there's speculation that lightning may have hit the plane right before that emergency landing. Kenmore Air said in a statement, out of respect for those involved, we will not speculate regarding the cause of the accident. They also said, quote, our highest priority is the care and support of our passengers, our pilot, and their families. Kenmore Air has canceled all their flights that were scheduled for today. Federal investigators are now looking into the crash. We have much more on this, folks, not only here on the YouTube feed during SMN, but also check out mynorthwest.com. We've got all the videos from the scene there as well and on social media.
Luke Ducey reporting live. It's 8:06.
An Alaska Airlines flight from Oakland to Seattle made an emergency landing in Eugene yesterday after reporting engine trouble. The Boeing 737-800 was carrying 161 passengers, 6 crew members. Air traffic control audio indicates pilots reported low oil pressure, shut down one engine, and safely diverted to Eugene. No injuries reported.
Firefighters are making progress on the railroad fire in Grant County. The blaze has triggered level 3 evacuations and the entire towns of Beverly and Schwana, south of I-90. About 400 people impacted. Kyle Foreman with the Grant County Sheriff's Office spoke to KIRO News Radio.
Command is saying there's zero containment. However, they do have good control with the firefighting aircraft and the large amount of state mobilized fire resources that have responded to the scene.
7 homes have been lost. Another 200 in both towns are threatened. No injuries reported. Firefighters are dealing with breezy winds and triple-digit temperatures.
And the Kaiser Canyon fire north of the Grand Coulee Dam has now burned almost 90,000 acres. We get the update from KIRO 7 TV's Elle Thomas.
Firefighters there bracing for dangerous conditions through the weekend. New level 3 evacuations have been issued for the Coyote Creek area, while some evacuation levels near Nespelem have been reduced. Right now, that fire just 3% contained.
Keeping you informed since 1974. This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
It's 8:08. Glad to have you with us on this Friday, July 24th. Not sure if you can hear Nick, but you've got Sully singing, blasting it again over here.
He's definitely having a Friday over there. That's
yeah,
for
he
sure.
is.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It is Friday.
I think
It's
we
like
all,
my Spotify playlist right now.
There's something extra in your Diet Coke this morning.
I don't know. I think maybe Holly's back to work today.
Oh,
Her first day back
Heck yeah, that's
since
awesome.
her little thing. She's
So it's good.
so things are kind of getting out of the storm in the Sullivan house for the summer.
Good.
Maybe you threw in some
so-
extra corn syrup in your
Yeah, it's
Diet
possible.
Coke this morning.
Yeah,
from
I
the truck
had
last
plenty from the
yesterday.
landfill to grab after yesterday. So no, we're kind of making it through. Got a spring in our step right now. So yeah,
Great
it's
news
good.
and
And
great
plus
way.
great music too.
There's that, too.
It's 8:09. We have a busy hour in front of us because we have the Rick Riz show just around the corner. We have the big showdown with the Rangers in Arlington, Texas later today.
Yep, we'll chat with him at 8:15. Consumer man Herb Weisbaum highlights a new Medicare program that could help seniors looking to get healthy and drop some weight.
And of course, our Paul Holden will get us ready for the weekend with the Weekend Planner.
It's 8:09. Seattle police are investigating after a body was found in a wooded area near 35th Avenue Northeast and 33rd Place Northeast about 2:30 yesterday afternoon. Officers responded to a 911 call and confirmed finding the body. Here's Detective Brian Pritchard.
Our ME is there and will, of course, make the determination if there was any trauma or any foul play.
Investigators say the remains appear to have been there for some time.
A man sitting on a downtown Seattle sidewalk was stabbed by a stranger last night. Seattle police say it happened around 8:30 at the corner of 5th and Stewart. Police say the attack appeared to be completely unprovoked. The suspect took off running on East Olive Way. Officers chased him down a few blocks near 8th and Pike. The victim was taken to Harborview with injuries that are not life-threatening.
A Pokemon executive living in the Kirkland area is facing 4 felony charges in King County, including dealing in child sexual exploitation material and first-degree voyeurism. Prosecutors say Ben Tsai hid cameras in restrooms at Starbucks, Safeway, his own home, and his workplace. Casey McNerthney is with the King County Prosecuting Attorney's Office.
The repeated violations of privacy of others is really concerning, and prosecutors say that these allegations show a real danger to the community, which is why prosecutors wanted him held on a $500,000 bail.
Arraignment is set for August 4th.
Kirkland police say they've sniffed out a suspect accused of stealing $500,000 worth of perfume, cologne, and other merchandise from stores across the Puget Sound region. Detectives arrested the man at his Kent home.
One running.
He tried to escape out a second-story window, but they caught him, being held on $255,000 bail. The months-long investigation tracked what police describe as a regional organized retail theft operation spanning multiple cities.
An Oregon man is facing charges for catching and wrestling protected sharks in South Puget Sound. More from KIRO 7 TV's Jack Bilyeu.
You come over here now, police!
Body cam footage captured a Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife officer confronting the suspect in a bizarre, months-long investigation.
You know your shark rules.
According to prosecutors, that man is Connor Seifert, and he repeatedly targeted legally protected 6-gill and 7-gill sharks in South Puget Sound.
Targeting these sharks and catching them, mishandling them, dragging them out of the water, wrestling with them.
We called his lawyer, and he said he had no comment. We messaged Seifert himself, and he said the same.
Everyone from major corporations to online sellers seem to be trying to cash in on Jimothy the raccoon's viral fame. There's now a Jimothy bobblehead, Jimothy tattoos, coffee mugs, sticker pads, hundreds of T-shirts on Etsy and Amazon. The White House even posted a picture of the raccoon wearing a red MAGA ball cap on social media. All of it makes Suzanne West, the director of the Sarvey Wildlife Care Center, worry we're creating a celebrity that could lead to abusive behavior.
Oh my gosh, there's somebody chasing after him. He could run into the path of a car that he might not normally run into the path of because he's not stressed out and trying to evade people. The other thing that could happen is people try to lure him with food.
West says feeding any animal like Jimothy could lead to health issues, eating the wrong thing or by gaining weight.
It's 8:12. That's time for a check on our forecast. It's going to be a nice day. Low 80s for today, partly sunny, mainly sunny by the afternoon. You're just seeing a few clouds here and there this morning. A few showers a possibility for tomorrow and Sunday as well, with highs in the low to mid 70s. And then Monday will dry out again, partly sunny, 77. Looks like through Thursday, same pattern. We'll see partly to mostly sunny skies and highs in the upper 70s. 63, me in Seattle right now.
8:13, we check traffic on the threes with Sully.
And we are enjoying a Friday light out there across the board. The brake lights that you hit, and there are some. I'm not going to pretend there aren't, but you get out of them faster than normal. If you're coming down the I-5 corridor, say from Arlington, you're not really going to hit the brakes at all until you get down to about 1/30th or maybe inside, just before that forced merge in Northgate. And then you're going to be on the brakes off and on down through 520. I mean, that's just a given with our situation. But we've got a 45 to 50-minute trip from Everett to Seattle. It's manageable. Basically, based on what you've been experiencing throughout earlier in the week when it got up to an hour and 40. Not bad. For I-405, it had the brake lights south of Canyon Park. We're about 45 minutes to get you down into Bellevue, maybe a little bit under. The Renton to Bellevue drive, was getting close to a half an hour now. The S-curves are really slow, but by the time you're up to 30th, working your way up the hill, you're going to be okay, and it's not too bad in South Bellevue. Behind that, the Valley Freeway, quiet. 35 to 40 minutes on that trip, and that's great. Olympia to Tacoma, half an hour and nothing really all the way up until you get to the north end of Boeing Field. About 42 minutes, Federal Way to Seattle. Lake bridges are quiet. This report brought to you by Home Comfort Alliance. AC not working? Don't assume the worst. Home Comfort Alliance, repairs first, only repairs if needed. Get a real pricing quote in 60 seconds. HomeComfortAlliance.com.
We are underway.
There's only one Rick Riz.
The Grippies with back-to-back home runs. Number 258, a Major League record for Ichiro.
The On Cruise Adventures Rick Riz Show on Seattle's Morning News.
A big road trip ahead for the Seattle Mariners. The team is taking on the Rangers in Arlington, Texas, before going on to L.A. to take on the Dodgers.
Not easy at all. Let's bring in legendary broadcaster Rick Riz. Rick, good morning.
Good morning, Manda and Charlie and David. How you guys doing today?
It's Friday. We are terrific, and we're hoping the Mariners can get it together here.
Yeah, it's a huge road trip for the Mariners, obviously. Right now, the Mariners just half game out behind the team in front of them who they're playing tonight. Game one of a big 4-game series. The Rangers have been kind of, doing the same thing the Mariners have been. Everybody's been kind of in that same boat. The Rangers are 5-5 over the last 10 games. The Mariners, it's been up and down and up and down. They've lost 5 in a row. Then they split 2 games and they won 3 in a row. Then they lost the last 2. So they just got to get going and, get on a run. They're still waiting for that run. But every game is so huge against a team in front of you because if you win, it's like a 2-game swing in the standings. If you lose, it's like 2 games lost in the standings. So tonight is a huge game for the Mariners and Bryce Miller, obviously. And the Texas Rangers feel the same thing. So I look forward to a good series starting tonight against the Rangers.
Hitting has been a challenge for the team, Rick, and we had Bobby Magianis, the assistant hitting coach, let go yesterday. What is that like for players? I'm assuming that Bobby was well liked.
Oh man, everybody loved Bobby Magianis. The Mariners have gone with three guys over the last few years with Edgar and Kevin and Bobby. I'm not privy to what goes on in the clubhouse, but I know everybody loved Bobby. And I think if you're a player on the team right now and any coach gets let go, you got to take a look around and go, hey, we're the ones accountable. We're not hitting. We got the worst batting average in the big leagues. I mean, we're hitting, 228 as a team. We're much, much better than that. And we just cost this guy his job. I think somebody's coming up. I forget the name of the guy who's going to replace him. But I think the players have to be accountable. It's up to the players. At the very end of the day, are we doing our jobs? And the answer is not right now offensively. Can they? Obviously they can. I mean, Cal Raleigh is coming off the historic year, and he's really struggled. It was great to see him hit that grand slam the other day. But to a man, a lot of guys have struggled except for maybe Cole Young, who's had an all-star, season at second base. The kid is so good, and with 2 outs, with 2 strikes on him, he still puts the ball in play. He can hit the ball out of the ballpark. But it's tough when you lose a coach, and I think if you're a player in that clubhouse, you got to take a look around and say, we have to be better than this. And they will be. They will be.
Rick, we're just over a week away from the trade deadline. I know it's hard to really even think about adding anything to this team with the amount of guys who have been injured. I feel like we just still haven't seen this team at full strength. And it's also just kind of a weird trade market this season, isn't it? Like, there's not really any one that any teams can add that are super obvious choices. Is there any maybe position group or type style of player that the Mariners might want before this deadline?
Yeah, offensively, David, I think they're looking at a right-handed bat to put the ball in play with some authority, to drive the ball in the gap, to drive the ball in the park, to drive in runs. Rob Refsnyder had a first half of the season. I didn't know it for the first few months. He had, a rough situation with his knee. And so, he's working his way back. The guy they really need is the guy they already have. He's been hurt all year, and that's Brendan Donovan. He would just change the whole dynamics on the ball club. He's been an all-star and a gold glover. He puts the ball in play, gets his base hits all over the place. He hits for an average, can hit the ball out as well. So I think they're looking for a right-handed bat. They're looking for a power right-handed arm out of the bullpen. So I think if they can find those, and Jerry DiPoto and Justin Hollander are very, very good at making deals at any time, but especially at the trade deadline. Just take a look what the Mariners have done last year and back in 2022 getting Luis Castillo. So I think that's what they're kind of looking for. But you brought it up. I think the main thing is that they have to get healthy. They need Donovan back. They need Brash back. And once Donovan comes back, I think that's going to take care of a lot of issues. But the problem with trading right now at the trade deadline is that everybody's in the same boat. A lot of teams are struggling. They're right around 500. But let's say the Chicago White Sox, they've got a 1-game lead over Cleveland in the Central. Texas with a half-game lead over us. The Tampa Bay Rays as well. They've played 2.5 games in front of New York. Boston jumped back in it with a 15-game winning streak. They finally lost the other day. So a lot of teams feel like they're in it, so they don't want to trade. They want to add. So it makes it more difficult when teams think they still have a chance.
Rick, one of the things we've been talking about this week is that poor fan who was smacked in the face with a home run ball from Julio. She's okay. She's got quite a shiner. But the response from Julio and from Andres Munoz, too, amazing. Just talk a little bit about what the fans mean to these ball players.
Oh, they mean everything. And Andres Munoz is one of the nicest guys I've ever met in baseball in 52 years. He's the sweetest kid. He cares. His wife travels with their cat, Matilda. I love Sparky. Sparky's spread out over my scorebook right now, listening to this interview. But I talked with Andres about that. I said, hey, what happened out there in left center field? Julio hit that home run, and I saw the ball hit the lady, but I didn't see it hit her in the face. It hit her in the face, and he was so concerned that he called the hospital to find out if she was all right. He got in touch with her, and I think he had Julio sign a baseball for her. And so, this guy is concerned about everybody, even the fans out there in left center field. in the pen, and it just shows you what kind of people these guys are, the big heart that he has, and Julio to reach out to this young lady. I mean, I saw a picture of her, and she had a really good shiner on her left eye and everything, but fortunately she is all right. But for Andres Munoz to reach out to her like he did, it doesn't surprise me one bit. That's the kind of guy that Andres Munoz is. He's the nicest guy in the world. You put him on the mound facing a tough hitter, he's Senor Smoke. But when he's not in the ball game or away from the ballpark, he's one of the nicest guys in baseball. And I'm not surprised what he did because he's such a great kid.
Julio, too, he actually wrote on the ball. He apologized and said, get well soon.
Yeah. He said, I'm sorry, but oh, my goodness, you got to be careful. I got hit in the head with a foul ball, a couple of springs ago by Reese Hoskins, up at the booth, and it put a pretty good lump on the back of my head. So far, Toys for Kids charity auction, I had him sign a baseball for me. I put it in the auction last November. I said, hey, Reese, would you just sign 2 Rick Riz? Duck. I think we signed it. We sold it for about $50 or whatever. But you got to be careful out there. It's hard to see though when that sun is in your eyes. Just check out the outfielders, how they have a hard problem looking for fly balls. But thank goodness that young lady is all right. But it's great to see that Munoz and Julio reached out to help her out. It was
Rick,
great.
Before we let you go, you have a big event tomorrow.
Do you have plans around 7:30 or so tomorrow?
Yeah. What are you doing tomorrow?
What's going on tomorrow? Is there anything big in Seattle going on?
We got a torchlight parade. Hundreds of thousands of people headed downtown.
Someone we know might be the Grand Marshal.
Oh, my goodness. I couldn't believe it when they asked me a few months ago. And I go, yes, I would love to be the Grand Marshal for the Torchlight Parade for Seafair. It's going to be wonderful. Dave Niehaus was the Grand Marshal back in 2007, the year before he went in the Hall of Fame. So I can't wait to get on the back of whatever that car there is, and it's going to be fun to wave to everybody and thank everybody, if they can hear me, for supporting me the last 41 years here in Seattle and supporting this Mariners ball club for so many years. It's going to be a fun season the rest of the way, and what a night we all are going to enjoy tomorrow night at the Torchlight Parade, and it's going to be a tremendous honor, and I'm so thankful that they asked me. We had a press conference a couple of days ago down at Pier 62. We had the Navy band there, and it was just a beautiful day out. It's going to be a beautiful night tomorrow night, so come on by the Torchlight Parade and come on by and wave and say hello. It'd be great to see you.
Well, I'm sorry.
I can't wait.
They're not going to hear you because the crowd is going to be roaring as you pass by.
It's going to be fun, so yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be wonderful, so I can't thank them enough.
All right. Rick Riz joins us every Friday on Seattle's Morning News. Thank you, Rick, and positive vibes out for the Mariners as they take on the Rangers today.
No kidding. We need to check traffic now. Chris Sullivan is standing by.
And we are definitely seeing heavy braking on southbound 5 and 405 in the usual places coming down out of Linwood. For 405, they've really kind of intensified right around 522. Don't see anything blocking or in the way there, but you've got a 50-minute trip from Everett into Bellevue at this point, a matching 50 from Everett into Seattle. Northbound 405, Renton to Bellevue, just under a half an hour, depending on how you hit the volume at the north end. Behind that, the Valley Freeway's great, under 40 minutes. It's been clean all day. Thurston and Pierce all look really good. Federal Way to Seattle's only 42 minutes, and the Lake Bridges are fine. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
Forecast calling for sunshine this afternoon. Highs in the low to mid 80s. Cool back down to the mid 70s for the weekend. A chance of showers on Saturday and Sunday.
Coming up, a high-risk sex offender being unconditionally released in King County, and the community is not happy about it. We'll get the latest from KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey.
And consumer man Herb Weisbaum reports on a new program through Medicare that could help seniors lose weight late in life. That's on the way on Seattle's Morning News.
What's the real definition of adventure? On Cruise is your kayak gliding past a glacier as the world falls silent. It's hiking a trail that isn't on any map. You're not waiting in line for the buffet. You're savoring farm-to-table meals and craft cocktails on vessels with fewer than 100 guests. Redefine adventure in Alaska, Mexico, Hawaii, Costa Rica, and the Galapagos. Visit oncruise.com, talk to an adventure specialist, and tell them Rick Riz sent you for exclusive savings.
If you're over 62 and the rising cost of living is putting pressure on your budget, listen carefully.
I'm Steve Teitler, owner of Best Mortgage. I hear from seniors all the time who love their home, want to stay in it, but are worried about how far their money will go. Property taxes are up, insurance is up, monthly bills keep rising, and some of them still have a mortgage payment. A reverse mortgage could help by eliminating that mortgage payment, paying off debts, and giving you more room in your monthly budget. Now, let me say this, it's not right for everyone, but for the right person, it can make a real difference. When you call Best Mortgage, you work directly with me for a free consultation. I'll explain how it works, answer your questions, and tell you honestly whether it fits your needs. If you're 62 or older and want to learn more about staying in your home with less financial stress, call me today, 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage. Honest advice you can trust. 425-649-6000.
This summer, I'm driving my first hybrid, the 2026 Subaru Forester Touring Hybrid, which I got at Carter Subaru. It's a beauty and has excellent safety features. Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealership with over 800 in stock, including the 2026 Subaru Outback for 0.9% APR. Carter Subaru in Ballard, Shoreline, or cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized cost. See dealer for details. Valid through 7/31/26.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-330-8323 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-330-8323. That's 800-330-8323. What do you have to lose? Call 800-330-8323. Again, 800-330-8323.
Earth, Wind, and Fire. And Lionel Richie. The tour continues. Seattle, you're invited to sing a song all night long. Lionel Richie and Earth, Wind, and Fire. Climate Pledge Arena, August 3rd. Get tickets starting at $34 at livenation.com.
At Seattle Children's Hospital, 1 in 3 patient families can't afford the food their kids need to heal. A child recovering from surgery and the family struggling to put nutritious food on the table. That's why Seattle Children's, Safeway, and Seahawk, Jackson Smith and Jigba launched the Food First Project to fight pediatric food insecurity by providing grocery cards, produce vouchers, and food as medicine programs for families. No barriers, just help. 12s, we need you. Learn more at Safeway.com. Again, that's Safeway.com.
Walter is a soccer player, a soccer coach, and a soccer dad. So when he injured his Achilles, it affected everything.
Every time I ran or tried to play soccer, it would just get worse.
And he wasn't the only one dealing with it.
I was a soccer parent, and within a few weeks, 2 other fathers tore their Achilles or damaged their Achilles. They went to the surgery. I went to Dr. Mark Wagner, and I was back up and running, and they were jealous because it took them months to recover. One of them never fully recovered.
That's right. Walter chose to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy, the most experienced in the Northwest with over 20,000 stem cell procedures.
The recovery period is so short, and the feeling that you have of being completely back to normal is overwhelming.
So, whether it's a hip, like I had, a shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from Eastlake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It's 8:30. A dramatic rescue unfolded in the San Juan Islands after a Kenmore Air float plane crash near Susha Island.
All 11 people aboard were rescued from the water. 4 people were injured, one critically. Seattle-based pilot and aviation expert John Nance spoke to KIRO 7 TV.
They'll take a long period of time, whatever is necessary, to be able to chase down other clues, other leads, eyewitnesses, etc., and be able to come up with a probable cause.
The FAA and the National Transportation Safety Board are investigating.
The King County Sheriff's Office is defending the handling of a convicted sex offender's release into an Enumclaw area neighborhood after angry residents packed a virtual town hall.
KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is following this story and joins us live.
The offender, Robert Lowe, was convicted of first-degree rape and attempted murder in the 1990s, and he had been held at the Special Commitment Center on McNeil Island as a sexually violent predator. But this story is also a moment for anyone out there listening concerned about any sex offenders living near them. It's pretty easy to look up how many live in your area on King County's website. I looked this morning. There are 2 within a few blocks of our studio, in fact. Detective Chris Knudsen with the King County Sheriff's Office told that large virtual crowd in Enumclaw of very concerned residents. Psychologists hired by the state and defense attorneys concluded Lowe no longer met the legal standard to remain committed, so a judge ordered his unconditional release. Neighbors had a long list of questions, and they didn't really like the answers they were getting, like, what's the plan to keep the neighborhood safe? Here's Knudsen.
That's what community notification is intended to achieve. Beyond that, beyond making sure that he's compliant with his registration requirements, it's so that community members can be aware of who's in the neighborhood and take appropriate steps.
They also wanted to know if deputies would want this person living next to them and their children.
It wouldn't be my choice to have him living next to my family, but ultimately, we don't really get choices in who our neighbors are for the most part.
And what consequences will there be for the sheriff's office or other authorities if he reoffends?
So I know it's hard to hear, but we don't have any authority to restrict where he lives or where he works or goes to school or, the community that he's in. We do everything that we can within our legal authority to keep the community safe.
The sheriff's office classified Lowe as a level 3 or high-risk offender. The Department of Corrections determined he doesn't qualify for supervision under an unconditional court-ordered release. Charlie?
Luke Ducey reporting live.
Newly released police video captures a dangerous DUI chase that ended with a crash in Bellingham.
Bellingham police say the driver was clocked speeding more than 90 miles an hour on I-5 before refusing to stop. The driver led officers north toward the Canadian border. After crashing into the freeway barriers, the suspect stumbled out of the car and tried to run.
Hey, stop! Show me your hands!
But immediately fell to the ground.
Hold on, lay still, man, lay still.
Officers arrested him. Police say they found signs of intoxication, along with alcohol cans and THC products inside the vehicle. Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
It's time to check traffic. We do that every 10 minutes on what's not been the hardest Friday commute we've had to deal with in past years, Sully.
No, and we had far less corn than we had to deal with yesterday. So we are doing pretty good out there across the board. Just some braking here and there, the usual stuff. For those of you on southbound 5, you're going to hit the brakes right around 130th, heading down to the forced merge at Northgate. Give yourself about 48 minutes to make it from Everett to Seattle. About 45 to 48 as well from Everett to Bellevue. The brake lights there are heaviest south of Canyon Park through the construction zone down to about 522. The Valley Freeway has been quiet most of the morning, continues to be so. Only 40 minutes from Puyallup to Renton, maybe even a little under. Renton to Bellevue is 25 minutes, not quite a half an hour, so let's keep that going. There are brake lights past the merge at 90 trying to get up into Bellevue. Federal Way to Seattle's under 40 minutes, so a great drive there. And the lake bridges have been calm all morning. This report brought to you by Home Comfort Alliance. AC not working? Well, don't assume the worst. Home Comfort Alliance repairs first, only replaces if needed. Get a real pricing quote in 60 seconds. HomeComfortAlliance.com.
Our forecast, we'll see some clouds this morning, but by afternoon, mostly sunny and 83. Through the weekend, a mix of clouds and sun and possibly some scattered showers. Nothing too bad. 74 tomorrow and Sunday, and then Monday back to the upper 70s with lots of sunshine for the week. Right now in Seattle, it's 63.
Seattle's tradition for news and conversation. This is Seattle's Morning News with Charlie Harger and Manda Factor.
Great to be with you on a Friday morning. There's some good news for millions of seniors who are using GLP-1 drugs for weight loss or would like to take them but can't afford to pay as much as $500 a month.
Medicare is now covering these prescription medications for those who qualify when used solely for weight loss.
And consumer man Herb Weisbaum is here to explain how this new Medicare program works. Herb is a contributing editor at checkbook.org. So what's happening here, Herb?
Well, Charlie, man, it's called the GLP-1 Bridge Program, and it's a pilot project for those who have prescription drug coverage, what's called Part D, through Medicare, a Medicare Advantage program, or a standalone prescription plan. The Bridge program started the 1st of July, and it runs through the end of 2027. This is the first time in the history of Medicare that the federal government is paying for drugs specifically prescribed for weight loss. It's a big deal. In fact, when Medicare Part D was originally written, Congress explicitly excluded coverage for weight loss drugs. Until now, the only way Medicare would cover a GLP-1 drug was if you had an underlying condition like type 2 diabetes or heart disease.
As you point out in your checkbook story, Herb, not everyone will qualify.
That's right. Not everyone will qualify, Amanda. Not every drug is covered by this. That's really important to point out. The new program covers Wegovy tablets or the injectable formulation, Foundayo, which is a tablet form of the drug, and only the quick-pen version of Zepbound, regardless of which you use or the dosage. If you qualify, you will only pay a $50 copay for a 1-month supply. The people to qualify this, your doctor has to submit prior authorization that you meet qualifications based on your body mass index or BMI. With no underlying health conditions, your BMI must be 35 or higher. If you do have an underlying health condition such as prediabetes or a previous stroke or uncontrolled hypertension, the BMI needed to qualify drops to between 27 and 30, depending on your specific medical condition.
So if they have Medicare Part D and they do qualify, how do they get started, Herb?
If you want to take advantage of the program, talk to your healthcare provider. You don't contact insurance or Medicare. They send the prescription to the pharmacy. They work with Medicare to pre-authorize this for you. And then once you are approved, you can go to whatever drugstore, whatever pharmacy you want, wherever you get your prescription drugs. And then you will only be asked to pay a $50 copay for the month's supply when you buy the drug.
All right, Herb, we are constantly bombarded with ads for these GLP-1 drugs. I think I saw a recent survey that 1 in 8 adult Americans takes them. How good are they?
Yep. And the bottom line is that once you start taking these drugs, they really do work. You have to continue taking them. The research indicates that you will lose between 14 and 20% of your body weight in the course of a year. But if you stop taking the drugs, you will put back the weight on as much as 75% of the pounds you dropped. I spoke to a professor at the University of Washington, UW Medicine, who is an expert in this area, has prescribed these drugs to more than 1,000 patients, Dr. David Cummings. And he told me, quote, the drugs don't work if you don't take them. They're coded by the Food and Drug Administration as forever drugs, intended to be taken forever, just like a drug for your cholesterol or your blood pressure. So if you think you can take these, drop some weight, and then you will be able to willpower, keep it off yourself. Research shows that most people put on about 75% of the weight back on again.
So most health insurance plans, don't cover this, Herb. How is someone supposed to get these drugs if they don't have coverage?
Right. Some actually do, Charlie. So if you're employed, check with your employer and see if it is covered. If not, you have a couple of options. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist. Are there any programs you can take advantage of? You might be able to get a discount through a program such as GoodRx or one of these other coupon programs. And some of the manufacturers are offering discount programs when you use them. But Amanda, you talk about being bombarded with ads. I've had about a dozen emails come my way in the last couple of days offering these things via mail order. Please don't just respond to any ad that offers these things via mail order. You have no idea in many cases who you're dealing with. These drugs may not be as highly regulated, where depending on how they're made, as you get in a pharmacy. At this point in time, try to stick with a drugstore.
All right, Herb, where can we find more?
2 ways. Checkbook.org has the full article, and we did a full podcast with Dr. Cummings from UW, and you'll find that at consumerpedia.org.
All right, consumer man Herb Weisbaum every Friday. Thank you, Herb. Sully, what's coming up in traffic?
We're going to take a look at the breaking we have on southbound 5 getting into Northgate. We'll talk about it next.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Thinking about a new roof or exterior upgrade, but worried about the cost? This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. We've created our summertime savings event to make it simple and affordable. Save up to $3,000 off your exterior project or get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. And every qualifying GAF roof is backed by our lifetime Golden Pledge warranty. One call gets you started. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales Event going on right now through Sunday, August 2nd. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales Event going on right now. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
Welcome to this week's Puget Sound Express Whale Report. According to naturalists from Puget Sound Express, humpback whales stole the show this week. On one unforgettable evening, more than 20 humpbacks were spotted spouting across the Strait of Juan de Fuca, capped by an incredible double breach. Later in the week, fan favorites Stitch and Trident circled nearby for a full hour, treating passengers to the look of a lifetime, while Hemlock breached and slapped her long white flippers again and again. Family-run Puget Sound Express offers half-day and full-day guaranteed whale-watching tours departing from Edmonds, Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Morning departures often sell out, so be sure to check out their afternoon departures as well. Orcas, humpbacks, gray whales, minke whales, and so much more. Don't miss out on your chance to see whales in the wild. Family-run Puget Sound Express guarantees you'll see whales or your next trip is absolutely free. Book online at PugetSoundExpress.com.
It's 8:43. We check traffic every 10 minutes on the threes. Here's Chris Sullivan.
Stop getting in the way of David's and my conversations about the NBA that I don't really care about.
We know how much you love the NBA, Chris.
I used to cover it for all those years, but now it's just like I don't watch it, but it's just...
How's traffic?
Well, you know... It's like a double dribble or a travel. It's not called anymore. We're looking at pretty good drives. I mean, we do have brake lights here and there, but you get through it okay. I mean, if you got 45 to 50 minutes from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue with the brake lights right where they should be, I think you're going to count that as a win. Considering some days during this week we got up to an hour and a half to an hour and 40 to make those drives. So not terrible. The Olympia to Tacoma drive looks really good. Then there's some slight hesitation near 18, and then all the way up until you get to about the West Seattle Bridge before you hit brakes again. So we're under 40 Federal Way to Seattle. That's a great day. Valley Freeway, same deal. It's 40 minutes there from end to end. That's a good day. We are seeing some more brake lights now up the hill towards 30th and then back down towards 44th as you work your way up the valley. Plan on about a half an hour, which by most days' standards, that's a pretty quick drive. Across the lake, still no issues. So all in all, we're pretty good. KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
High of 83 in Seattle today. We'll have afternoon sunshine, scattered showers, and a lot of partly sunny skies tomorrow and Sunday. Highs will be in the low to mid 70s for the weekend. Right now, it's 63 downtown.
Can you believe it's the last weekend of July coming up?
Yeah, here we are.
I know. If you're looking for something to do, KIRO News Radio's Paul Holton will have your weekend planner next on Seattle's Morning News.
Word here for Claus's Spy Design. If you're having one of those mornings, you're already behind because nothing's in the spot it should be. You're stepping over stuff in your garage or your pantry or wherever. However, you're not doing anything wrong. It's just that most homes weren't set up to work the way we actually live. What I learned is Closets by Design isn't just closets. It's a garage where you can finally park your car. It's a pantry you can use. They do laundry rooms, entertainment centers, mud rooms. We had them do a home office and wall bed in our house. It's all custom built in Kent, and it's designed for your home. Nothing is pre-made. When things are designed right, your day just goes smoother with less clutter and frustration because everything finally has a place. Right now, for a limited time, you can get 40% off plus an additional 15% off and 18 months 0% financing on approved credit if paid in full. Go to closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN to get your project started today.
How would you like to invest in the Seattle real estate market, one of the hottest and most stable regions in the country, and achieve a great rate of return on your investment without the effort of sourcing a deal, the expense and time of building permits, or all the hassles that come with being a landlord? Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Invest in the stability and ease of Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund. Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Jason Rance here. If your water heater is getting older, leaking, or running out of hot water, CM Heating has an affordable solution. Get a new gas or electric water heater installed starting at just $44.99 a month. With CM Heating's Comfort as a Service program, you'll get lifetime repairs and maintenance at no extra charge. Parts and labor covered for life. Plus, same-day installation is available in many cases. Schedule your free estimate today at cmheating.com.
License number CMHEAHL 750LP.
Seattle's morning news. Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime. Seattle's morning news, wherever you are.
Just a few moments away from the end of the week here on Seattle's Morning News. And in case you're looking for something fun to do, Paul Holden's here.
Oh, good morning, Paul.
Good morning, everybody. I was getting ready. I didn't expect the critical role question right before.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you know, it was a few hours ago that we hit that cold because it's Comic-Con in San Diego. Mm-hmm. And Charlie said some character from Dungeons and Dragons and Critical Role. And we all looked around the room and gone,
what the heck was that? But we knew you would know it, Paul.
But I said, I'll bet you Paul Holden knows.
Oh yeah. I mean, I haven't watched a ton of their stuff, but I am familiar with a very popular D&D podcast. I've never been to San Diego Comic-Con. I think I got to go at least once.
I'm shocked by that.
That's like the big one. Well, yeah. I don't know why. I never when I was younger, I was like the concept of like going on a big trip to go to one of these things was so like crazy to me. But now I'm lucky enough that there's a bunch that come here. So
yeah.
Now,
you were too busy going to the Tokyo Dome and watching the Giants play and buying a ball cap.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. One of my favorite things I did in Japan was go to the Tokyo Dome, and I got to see the Giants. It was, Charlie, I mean, a whole different baseball vibe out there, cheering sections and everything. Such a cool time. So if you ever go to Japan, make sure that you go check out their professional baseball. It's great baseball, too. Yeah. It's very competitive. But let's dive into all the fun stuff that's going on this weekend.
Friday then, there's Saturday, Sunday, what? There's Friday then, there's Saturday, Sunday, what?
Well, you guys had a big guest on earlier in the show. Not only the legendary voice of the Mariners, but going to be the Grand Marshal of the big parade happening this weekend. Of course, Seafair continues to ramp up, and we got one of the big ones this weekend with the Seafair Torchlight Parade. So obviously the parade is the big star of the show. That's going to be at 7:30. But if you're looking to go have a fun day out on the water, they're going to have stuff going on starting at as early as 1 o'clock there on a couple of the piers. Pier 58, they're going to have interactive love notes that you can, I don't know exactly.
They're going to have what?
It's called Interact. I think it's something you can like write a note to your special someone or a friend, and you can one of those big walls, one of those big things that you can like put something up and people can see them. So that'll be there. There's also going to be a beer garden. That's actually the love notes in the beer garden will be at Pier 62. The interactive coloring wall is going to be at Pier 58. If you want to bring the young ones there to hang out and see what's going on there. I went to one of these places where you can kind of have these interactive walls with like these electronic kind of crayons and things. Very, very cool stuff. So we'll see. You can see all the fun for yourself going on the waterfront tomorrow. And then, of course, you got the parade at 7:30 and the Seafair Torchlight Run going on as well. Big weekend for art here. The Seattle Art Fair is going to be at the Lumen Field Event Center. And if you have a young member of your family that's interested in art, kids 12 and under get in free. So maybe a little extra incentive to go check out something cool. And this is cool down in Bellevue there. You got 300 artists in Bellevue Square and in downtown Bellevue for the Bellevue Arts Fair weekend. So there's going to be this whole area of downtown Bellevue that's going to be packed with art that you can check out. Live music, food trucks, all that cool stuff as well. We were just talking about Critical Role, the Dungeons and Dragons podcast, today. Right? Yeah, earlier here to kick off the segment. Well, if you want to take a trip back to the Renaissance era, the Washington Midsummer Renaissance Fair is underway. It's already been going for a little bit, but it is going to be going until mid-August. And this weekend, they have a theme for all the weekends. It is the Feast of Fools weekend.
Okay. Will there be turkey legs?
Oh yeah, of course there's going to be mutton.
Have you guys ever been to a Ren Fair before?
I haven't yet, but I've heard
Ren Fair.
I think that's what the people in the know say.
Although I've never been, that's what you get. That's what you call it, is a Ren Fair. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, but this is, always these. There's a bunch of live entertainment. Obviously, you can immerse yourself in a fun trip back in time. That's going on there. You want to check out their website, the Washington Midsummer Renaissance Fair website, just to get those ticket details and the specific directions to how to get there. Of course, Bite of Seattle is also returning this weekend, so that is going to be going on here in downtown Seattle, here in the Seattle Center. But I wanted to give a shout out here too to the CID, because on Saturday from 11 to 4 they're doing a CID food walk. So they're going to be doing special bites for $6 or $8 from a variety of restaurants. So this is going to be a great way to try out a bunch of different places, maybe a little bit more bang for your buck. If you're looking for a food-themed thing this weekend. And then Charlie sent me this one, actually, because this is going to be super cool here. We got the opening round of the Frisbee playoffs that are going to be the Ultimate Frisbee is going to be in Inner Bay this weekend. Yeah. And Inner Bay Stadium, people love when I live right over there, so I see all the people that go to all the events and games that they do over there. I'm sure this is going to be a hit. It's a cool little spot for folks to go and check out some sports like Ultimate Frisbee.
Yeah, people love that. I went by with Championship. It was in Shelton, but they had like ESPN type cameras out there. People are really intense with that sport.
Oh yeah, I actually know somebody who's traveled and played. It was more collegiate, but yeah, hey, as someone that puts on an event for a random video game, if you got enough passionate people to do something, you'll have people lining up to watch it. I guarantee it. But we got lots more information on the Seattle Outdoor Theater Festival, and I got more information. We talked a little bit about this last week, but I got more free movie showings for you folks at mynorthwest.com.
Okay, Paul Holden will check it out. It's 8:53. It's time to check traffic now with Chris Sullivan.
And by the way, if you haven't done the Torchlight the last 2 years, they have changed the route. As you know, it goes down the Alaskan Way. The problem with that is, and you may not realize this if you're not going and you plan a ferry trip, Coleman Dock is inside the closure zone. So you can still get in with a car, and you can still get out with a car right there, but only at the far south end part of Coleman Dock. If you're planning a trip tomorrow via ferry from Coleman Dock, you got to plan way in advance I mean, I'm talking way in advance. It is definitely something to keep in mind because of just where everything is there. As our roads right now, we're in pretty good shape. I mean, Federal Way to Seattle's 40 minutes. The only breaks you'll hit there, right by the West Seattle Bridge. Renton to Bellevue, little under a half an hour. S-curve's active, nice long gap, and then you hit the stuff in Bellevue again. But overall, 30 minutes. Behind that, 40 on the Valley Freeway. Little slowing into South Tacoma. We normally see that before 8 and 9 a.m.s with people trying to get where they need to go. But under 40 to Tacoma, and out of the north end, still about 50 minutes from Everett to Seattle, 45 Everett to Bellevue. This report brought to you by Home Comfort Alliance. AC not working? Don't assume the worst. Home Comfort Alliance repairs first, only replaces if needed. Get a real pricing quote in 60 seconds. HomeComfortAlliance.com.
We're looking for mainly sunny skies by afternoon today. We're headed for a high of 83. For the weekend, just a chance of a few showers, nothing major, a mix of sun and clouds otherwise, and highs in the mid-70s. 63 in Seattle right now.
G and Ursula show coming up next. Bite of Seattle is this weekend, so why isn't it being talked about much? They'll discuss coming up 9 to noon on KIRO News Radio.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
A lot of businesses are gearing up for a busy summer, and that means choosing a bank with the accounts, tools, and services you need to be successful. The right bank can make a big difference, right, Brad?
It sure can, Dave. And WaFd Bank can help with business checking, loans, credit cards, and so much more. WaFd Bank is also an SBA preferred lender of choice, so you can grow with confidence.
Yeah, but what about when you need help with something? Is there a real person who's available and who knows how to help?
Absolutely. Our friendly and knowledgeable local bankers are ready and waiting to help you with whatever your business might need. From day one, our bankers get to know you and your business to build a strong foundation for future success. This especially helps when it's time to apply for loans and to spot gaps in your business operations, so we can recommend the services that would be most helpful.
Which is exactly why we say WaFd has you covered. To learn more, visit wafdbank.com or stop by your local branch. Discover why they were awarded Best Bank 3 years in a row. WaFd Bank, built for business. Member FDIC, loans subject to credit approval.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Honey, did you invite the minions over?
Hello.
Well, you know how we talked about getting Wi-Fi from Xfinity?
Yeah.
I ordered it this morning, was online in minutes, then they showed up.
So they just came over to use the Wi-Fi?
They even brought their own devices and spell book.
You didn't give them the new Wi-Fi password, right?
No.
That's good.
I gave them our old one. Because Xfinity lets us keep the same network name and password so devices connect instantly.
What do they want Wi-Fi for anyways?
Better not to know. Plausible deniability.
Get streaming or scheming instantly with same-day Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Plus, lock in one price for the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi for 5 years. Guaranteed. And see Minions and Monsters only in theaters. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales Event going on right now through Sunday, August 2nd. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales Event going on right now. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
The Black Crowes, live in the